Hey! I forgot to do the start screen, so I'm just here. Hey, I am live. I'm alive. Yeah, Lucky Nessie joined right as I went live. Hey, new badge. Yeah. Hi, live. I'm dad. Yeah. Yeah, I meant to have my Santa hat and scarf and stuff, but I don't know where they are, so I'll have to do that in the next stream. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. Um, do we just jump straight in? I'm picking up where we left off last time. This one has a timestamp. Is that intentional? I have no idea. Oh my god, I don't even have the audio. Wait. I don't even have the audio set up correctly.
What
That's
a
better.
beautiful day it is in the woods, Pikachu! Let's get some training done!
Our heroes are adventuring towards Cerulean City to
Just
defeat
add as a
Team
3D
Rocket.
model.
Now I'm gonna beat Team Rocket! You and me, Pikachu!
Let's kiss, Pikachu.
I was Rorius Christmas drip coming soon. Did you react to the ASM soundtrack? No, I haven't yet. That's why I didn't we say didn't you ask me to save it for reaction stream? I held off. Um Santa stole your attire. How dare. How dare he? Okay, wait one second. Here for a short while? Okay. Santa hat. Wait a second. Transparent. I have no time for. Oh! Thank you, Diana, for gifting 5 Rorius memberships.
Welcome to the family.
Yay! You are 12 months old.
Welcome to the family.
Baby. Orangey. Baby
Welcome to the
orangey.
family.
Santa. I'm just gonna call it that.
Welcome to the family.
Hell yeah. Um, 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 hold up,
Welcome
guys.
to the family.
Jesus. All the welcomes. Alright, and then I go
Welcome to the family.
that one, and do that, and I should have renamed it, but I didn't. It's fine. It's fine. Hey! Can I, like, rotate that? I don't think I can just free rotate. Damn it. I can only do 90-degree rotations. Oh, wait, no, here we are. Wait, okay. 10. Oh my god, more gifted subs. All the gifted subs.
Welcome to the family.
It's so much bigger than my head. It's brilliant. So if I'm just sitting here watching. Oh my god, it's like clicking.
Welcome to the
it's,
family.
it's clicking against the edge. Wait. Where is that? There's a setting. Who are all the new people? I'll check in a minute. There's a toggle somewhere that makes things clip to the edge of the screen. fuck it. That'll have to do. I'm just gonna move it a little further this way. I'll have it like this. Okay, so let's check who got gifted. Yeah, Zach, Malik, Nathan, Fireboy, X-Boy. This is how I remember Rorius streams, yeah. uh, it's all good. It's all good. Welcome to the stream. You're here now, and that's all that matters. Early Christmas gifts, am I right? Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for your donation.
Fish also, yeah, got a gifted membership. Then Tiana gifted 5 more. Oh, RG, thank you for the donation.
Welcome to the family.
Holy crap. Yeah, so there's 5 more. So Thomas was gifted membership. Cody Kitten, little
Welcome to
Rio,
the family.
Curtis, Max, all gifted memberships. Thank you and welcome. Oh,
welcome to the family.
Also, Lockie Ness, you were saying, oh, I somehow missed Haikal also got gifted a membership. Oh, that was from RNG's gifted membership.
Welcome to the family.
Yeah, thank you for the $10 donation. Yo, 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 what? My name is Chat, and I'm super...
Welcome to the family.
I'm super hello, hello. I have a big music note in my pocket. I swear it's just a note and not a 9mm handgun. Oh my god. I was gonna say the luckiness. One thing that you should do is if you wanna get gifted membership, is you go down below the video. There should be, if you go down below the video, there should be like a join button somewhere over here. And if you click the join button, it'll pop up with information, but if you click the top left 3 dots on that box, I'll go to another channel. Oh no, I closed Reddit by accident. No. If I like go to Click's video, does he not have a join? Oh, there it is. There it is. There's the join button. You click the join button, and it'll bring up the information about membership. If you click up here, you say gift settings, and then say allow gifts on this channel, like that. Then it'll allow you to be automatically gifted stuff. It won't wait until you're randomly selected to like tell you can do that. I don't know why YouTube makes it so you have to select this. It's so annoying. But yeah. Well, welcome to the welcome to the fam. Welcome to the fam. Do a remix of the welcome to the family.
Welcome to the family.
Oh, Stray. No, it's a membership. Yeah. I'm on my good account now. Yeah. Nice. There we go. That's better. Oh, yeah. No, I'm sorry, Damien. That really sucks. Yeah. Please stop our government. Yeah. Send help. Yeah. I'm gonna be recording an in-person video with a certain jeans and red t-shirt British YouTuber. Oh. Oh. I'm so curious. I don't know. Wait. The certain jeans and red t-shirt. You mean Tom Scott? Certain Tom of the Scott. Yeah, holy shit. If so, like, I was like, what YouTuber do I know who just wears jeans and a red shirt? And I was like, it immediately Tom Scott came to mind. Holy shit. If so, friggin' awesome. It's mentioned my channel. To show Tom Scott Rorius. Yeah. It's for his Thomas Got Plus channel. Ah, right. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I should probably start watching videos. It's 12 minutes in and I haven't started.
Our heroes are on their way to defeat Team Rocket when suddenly, what makes Pikachu mad? Hey, Peter.
I ate all his Pokemon food.
Pikachu realizes that Ash ate all of his Pokemon food.
I see what's happening here.
I'm sorry, Pikachu. You know I would never do that on purpose. Pika! Pika!
Oh god.
Pikachu! No, please stay back!
They have fucking tasers on his cheeks.
You gotta respond to that.
Oh no!
That's horrifying.
Because when he's on regular mode, you do actually have to turn him on by.
Jesus Christ. Oh shit, that's right. I closed freaking Reddit. Wait. I have to go back on the Reddit. Let's move on. That's fucking terrifying. Get chased down by a... What the... Why was there a banana at the... They had us at banana phone. Okay. Let's get back to Rorius Reddit now. Am I watching, please? Yeah. Where were we? There we are. Okay. It's very big knife. Cooking, but the knife is very big. Okay. Anyways, gotta get back to something I'm working on. Take care. Oh, see you, Tiana. Have a good rest of your night.
I'm sick and tired of all these crappy cooking channels on YouTube doing boring cooking videos. How many times can you teach people how to cook an omelet? Come up with something new. What are you doing? Everyone knows how to cook an omelet. Everybody knows how to cook oatmeal. You don't even know if the food tastes good. They just cook it and it's so good. They eat it. My cooking is so good. It's boring. Let's do something new. Let's invent something new and exciting. See this little knife right here? Why do people cook with little knives? Let's cook with a big knife. Sous chef, get in here.
Welcome to the family.
Why do you have your shirt on? Sous
God.
chef, bring in the man knife.
Hey, Rocky, welcome to the family.
Sous chef, are you ready to cut this chicken up for me?
Oh yeah.
Give me a
So many
clean
new
cut
members today.
right down the middle.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Oh, that's the heart.
Holy shit!
Oh my god.
Sous chef. Another one right down the middle.
Oh, I wouldn't want to have my hands.
Sous chef,
close.
my hands are dirty. I don't want to touch the
Yay.
grill. Now that we've chopped our chicken up, we're gonna let this bad boy sit on the grill at low heat for about 20 minutes. Now, as any chef will tell you, even a crap.
Anyway, let's move on. Jesus. Mr. Bargains. Okay. Oh, we got more atomic shrimp. Awesome.
Mr. Arthur Bargain was a shopkeeper, a profession some might consider lowly, but
Yeah,
as he opened
this guy's
his
really
new
cool.
shop near the end of the high street, he carried himself with all the dignities of his ancestors, who had been gallant knights, people of truth and justice, and wise scholars. Mr. Bargain himself was a man who had always appreciated
Hey,
clever
Joe.
wordplay, and so it was not without a little twinkle in his eye when he had named his establishment. He had resolved that his prices would always be competitive and appealing. His surname was Bargain, his business was Bargains, his shop would be called Bargains. Trade was brisk to begin. Customers do love a bargain, and they loved Mr. Bargain's bargain store. But as time went by, more and more of the people coming into the little shop turned out not to be customers at all, but instead only intended to make a clever observation. In truth, though, an incorrect and therefore not so
Oh,
clever
I see what.
observation
Yeah,
about the
the punctuation. It's like it should not have the apostrophe there, and it's like, well, my name is Bargain, so it should have it. It's my store. It's Bargain's store. It's... Also, this freaking hat. I forgot I had that on. Oh dear. Wait. Make it little. So just there. Okay. That's better.
inclusion of the apostrophe in the sign above the little shop. At first, Mr. Bargain would merely explain, introducing himself as Mr. Arthur Bargain, owner of the establishment, and explaining that thus the apostrophe was indeed one indicating possession and was not erroneous.
Yeah.
But no matter how many times he said this to how many individuals, more new people would arrive daily, making their very same wrong assumption and trying to argue their very same clever but not actually clever wrong point. In time, Mr. Bargain grew so tired of this that he had some small cards made, and whenever anyone came in to talk about the apostrophe, he would simply hand them a card, glaring in silent fury, knowing that here before him was yet another potential customer who would now forever be alienated, driven away by either his display of frustrated vexation or by the embarrassment of their own punctured conceit. On some days, a queue of people would form at the shop counter, every one of them wishing to point out the apparently erroneous apostrophe in the shop sign, which was not an error at all. Sometimes real customers would look in through the door and, seeing this queue, walk by instead of coming in to buy something. Profits began to slip. None of these people...
I was going to say, I wouldn't trust that the average person would even notice or care that is the case. I feel like the average person would just see it and then just like it would just be a fleeting image in their mind and be gone. Yeah, I hope you can fix your sleep schedule, Joan, at some point. But I will mention, I don't know if you're available to join the stream. Well, as in, you know, watch the stream. I'm gonna be playing some Walking Dead soon. Like probably not tomorrow, but probably like in a couple days or few days. Yeah, for people who were here and don't know, I was working for a while, and Friday was my last day, so I can go back to streaming. I probably won't stream as much as I was before, but I can go back to streaming semi-regularly. I say I'm not going to stream as much as I was before because I actually want to knuckle down on something that I'm working on. So yeah. Stream's back, yeah. Stream on my birthday. What day is your birthday again? I'm terrible with dates. So I've completely forgotten. What actual day is it? 5th, okay. Wait. So that'll be the 6th in my time, right? So I can make that work. Yeah. Alright. I'll make that happen.
Who came in to talk about the apostrophe were aware that they were an unwitting part of a campaign of quite relentless harassment toward poor Arthur, because they all acted independently. In fact, many of them would never have suspected the bigger pattern at all, considering themselves exceptionally, perhaps uniquely gifted in observing small things like apostrophes in what appeared to be the wrong place. Finally, something broke inside of Mr. Arthur Bargain, and, taking from his own shelves a very reasonably priced paintbrush and a little tin of especially budget-friendly white paint, he went out to the front of the shop, climbed up a ladder, and painted over the apostrophe. Of course, this created a new problem, in that there was now a noticeable gap between the word bargain and the letter S. He stood back and thought for a little while about whether he should repaint the whole sign, or perhaps rebrand the business entirely. But he never did. His heart simply wasn't in it anymore. The punctuation pedants hadn't won. They had not even set out to win, because there was no prize to win. But he, Mr. Arthur Bargain, had quite undoubtedly lost. Then that's the moral of this little tale. Insofar as pedantry is a game, it is a game with no winners, only different kinds of losers.
Is it a real story? Wait. Oh, yeah, like... wait, I have to know. Oh, okay, it was an imagined fictional backstory. It's like... seeing the real version, I was like, whoa, that's really cool. Yeah, I to be fair, like the fact that it's a real store shop, the shop front, makes me think that maybe something like that did actually happen. But the the it might have been like the real situation might be quite different, but maybe someone did, maybe not like tons of people, but maybe someone actually did tell him that he shouldn't have the apostrophe there, and then he either it was there erroneously or it wasn't, and they removed the apostrophe just to be like, I don't want to have to deal with this ever again. Yeah. Just the back pain. Just back pain problems. You gotta get the old before the old gets you. Playing RE7 again recently. I somehow forgot about Marguerite existing. Right, yes. Oh, yes, her boss fight, the worst. Not because it's hard, but just because, oh. I mean, it is, I did die, I think, on it. At least once. But just, she's just the worst. I probably died multiple times, actually. I kind of have blotted that out of my mind. Oh. Do you have a bargain boozes where you live? No. No, we don't have that. That's a brand that does not exist. Oh. Using the frickin' RE4. Using the Resident Evil 4 regenerator music for that is really upsetting. Holy shit. They look like a nice fellow. Yeah, that is actually terrifying. It's like a corner shop, but strictly for alcohol and drinks. Right, right. Well, we have similar things, but we just don't have that brand. Don't just be old, become the old, overcome the old. I have it on my mind the full stream like Marguerite. I won't be able to get her out of my mind. Oh, just her bugs. Ugh. Marguerite and her bugs. Tidying up your computer in the 90s.
Welcome to another episode
Marie
of
Kondo
Wonders
style?
of the World Wide Web. In this episode, we're going to talk about the KonMari method. But what is the KonMari method? It's the art of decluttering and organizing your computer. Japan is probably the coolest country in the world. Japan has everything. Good food, fast trains,
It really
impressive mountains,
bugged me.
robots, comics, and cool brands like Casio and Sony. One of the undiscovered treasures of Japan is the art of decluttering your computer. The Japanese book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up Your Computer, explains how to tidy up your computer.
Whoa,
In
this
this
is weird.
episode, we'll share some valuable lessons we've learned from the book. First of all, you'll need to accept that you have a problem.
Oh my god. I keep trying to drink from this
Do
not
you
showing the
recognize
brand
this messy
on the
desktop?
front, but I
Do
keep
you not
accidentally
always
doing
know
it.
where your files are stored? Is your hard disk always full? Well, the KonMari method can
1.4
help you.
gigs.
Before you start with the KonMari method, feel free to take a moment
I
of
both
silence
miss
to
and
bless
don't
your
miss
computer.
those days. Back in the day. Wait, did I miss something?
Moment of silence to bless your computer.
Ah, moment of silence. I did miss something. Japan is anything you can imagine. Yeah. Japan, I love Japan. As a gamer, as a retro gamer.
Ah! Son of a When you
As someone who
tidy
loves
up,
old
it's important
games,
to find a good
Japan
place
is
for your
amazing for
files.
that.
Don't name your folder documents
Like,
or files.
I went to, like, I visited Akihabara, which is like the nerd district, multiple times when I was in Japan, when I was in Tokyo specifically. And, there was this one store that I found, like, right at the start of me, like, right as I started wandering around, I stumbled upon this, it was this little store that was, like, let's say, it just barely had enough space for, like, 2 rows going down its sort of, down its length. It's a tiny little store. It had stairs going up, but, which, are infamous, you know, stairs going up in Japan, infamous. It had stairs going up, so it was bigger vertically, but like in the bottom floor, which is the main stuff, it had just these 2 narrow corridors, and it had new in-box PS1s, Nintendo 64s. It sold like games from the 90s and the early thousands. It was just walls of old games and old consoles. And I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. If only I could buy anything here, because back in the day, everything was freaking region locked. So even if I bought stuff, even if I bought stuff from Japan, from that store, I wouldn't be able to use it if I brought it home. If I lived in Japan, I would buy all that shit and get like old stuff, but oh, so cool. Oh, multiplayer stream win. Yeah, I'll probably do a multiplayer stream now that I'm doing more streams again. I'll probably start doing multiplayer streams in the weekends again. But we'll see, because I never want to promise, because I used to have a schedule of like, oh, we'll do one multiplayer stream every weekend and then one single player stream every weekend. But then you know, when I do that, it creates that expectation of like, we have to do that every week. And it became an obligation instead of fun. It became like well, I have to play a multiplayer thing now. So I'd rather it be special. I'd rather keep it special and be like, multiplayer stream, yay! And then everyone's like, oh my god, it's a multiplayer stream, yes! I'd rather keep it special. There's something that comes with it's interesting. Psychology is interesting. Anyway, I shall switch to my phone and watch the stream while lying on bed. Oh, okay. Oh, good. Yeah. I've most likely just fallen asleep or died. Either way, either way, I get rest. Yep, fair enough. I know the feel of being in bed and watching like stuff. I didn't used to do that, but yeah, it's I get it. You should watch Matt KC. He has a really good channel about games and consoles. He even made a NES run on AA batteries. Oh, I think I've seen that actually. I've seen something like that. The only second copy of Japanese Lego Island in the world. Oh. Pardon me. Oh shit. So far I caught one multiplayer stream and then missed or did not have the game to every single one afterwards. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to. That's the thing. Well, I have to. I do try and play like Gartic Phone and Jackbox and stuff like that, so people can join. But yeah, maybe you just haven't. You've just missed those ones. So I never have a schedule for streams now. Yeah, not streaming them because of my work on the project, but still, yeah, fair. I felt pressured and frustrated. Yes, that's the thing. Is like, I find that if I make it a regular if I make something a regular thing, like a structured thing, very, very quickly it goes from being like, yes, we can have one every week, or one of whatever, it you know, it goes from being like an exciting thing to very quickly, like, if you don't do it, you get anger and vitriol, and if you do it, it's just, there's no change of the needle, you know. It goes from being only a negative thing if you don't do it, and no positive if you do it. So it's best to just keep it, have no scheduled thing, and just have it be a fun surprise. That way the fun surprise is positive, and if you don't do it, there's no negative, you know. it's yeah. I'll post this channel on the Reddit for you. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? Jackbox is fun though. Yeah, it is fun. Especially since I stream only at specific times. I would have such a tight schedule. Yes, yeah. And then would want to stream less and less. Yeah, that's very fair. That's very fair. That's an issue that's happened sort of with doing videos now as well. Is like, I can barely handle doing one video a day. In fact, I'm not handling doing one video a day. I thought I got to go watch a musical by myself and cry. Oh, no! Watch this instead. Unless it's something you have to do for school or something, or work. In which case, good luck. Cry in reasonable measures. School. Ah, yeah. Yeah. Like, I used to do 2 videos a day, every day, and then stream twice on the weekend. I don't know how did I do that for so long? I don't understand. I clearly I used all my free time for that. That's how I managed to do that for so long. These days, with like I'm working and doing other stuff, I just don't have time to do that stuff. Anyway.
Give your folder more meaningful names, like Company Letters, November 1995, or scan pictures of my cat Haggis.
Oh, see you, Malik.
Let's clean up my husband's folder.
Have a good day.
He always says that I have to stay out of it, but I'm going to tidy it up for him.
Oh, game-specific and community-specific question. Go ahead.
With the title Adult. I'm going to put this in a place where it belongs. In the folder Literature.
Oh my god.
It's important that you know that tidying up is more than putting files in a logical folder. You also need to get rid of files that you don't need. I know, it's very hard to get rid of your files, but the KonMari method solves this with one simple question.
Does it spark joy?
Ask yourself this question. Does this spark joy?
Yeah.
Let's go through some files. In this folder, my diary entries of the last 10 years are stored. Does this spark joy? I guess not. There are a lot of sad moments in there. I'll move them to the recycle bin. Taxes. I hate to pay taxes, so I drag the entire folder to the recycle bin as well. Now, a very important moment. Emptying the recycle bin. When you do this, take a moment to say goodbye to your files.
I like it, actually.
The day has come to pay my respects to you. You were always
So
there
let's
for
go
me
back to
during
Bridge
hard
Constructor Portal.
times.
Oh.
I went through a lot of moments, Files. Although you are just a collection of
I got a
zeros and
DLC
ones,
now
we
apparently
felt like we
called
understood each
Portal
other.
Proficiency.
I made you, but you made
I mean,
me
maybe.
as well. We are one. We
Yeah,
always
yeah.
were. You were the essence of compassion, of duty, of style, of beauty and friendship. I will always love you, Files. But now it's time to say goodbye. Farewell, Files. I've tried the KonMari method for 1 week now, and my computer has
I could
entirely
take a look at that and see.
I've deleted 238
potentially
folders
go
and
back and play it.
Microsoft
Yeah,
Excel, PowerPoint, my college documents, my scanned receipts, and way more files and software. The only programs that are left on my computer are Netscape, MS Paint, Doublespace,
Netscape.
QBasic, and 72 games. Yes, games spark a lot of joy. Oh,
Oh
for
my
MS-DOS users, it's easier to tidy up your computer. Just type format C:. Do you want more information about this method? Just visit the website of the KonMari method online.
Damn, that's weird. That's weird to think about. That's like, that's I mean, they showed off the right there. They had like games, and it had a MS-DOS version of Minecraft, Roblox, and what looked like Fortnite. And I love alternate history stuff. It's so fascinating to look at. Imagining if Marie Kondo was like alive and doing stuff in the 90s. Fascinating. Oh, lab-grown brain learns Pong. Oh. Oh dear. I think with Portal Proficiency they actually made new official levels. Ah. You can place your own portals now thing. Oh. I see. Interesting. All right. Yeah. I'll definitely I'll look into it and I'll see if I think that there's, you know, if I think if it's worthwhile, you know, time-wise and video-wise to do another video on it. Probably just do the one, like a one-off, but still, yeah.
This is a brain in a dish, kind of. It sucks at Pong, but it learned how to play. In some ways, it learns better than AI. Its creators say it's sentient. What does that mean? And why are they teaching brain cells to play video games? For some little brains, life begins at circumcision. Baby foreskin cells are frozen in liquid nitrogen and sold on the internet. to a lab that infects them with a virus that turns them into stem cells. Feed them the right brain food and they can grow into mature cortical neurons in a couple weeks, talking to each other with electrochemical signals. Does it look sentient yet? The last big claim about sentience came from a Google engineer, but it wasn't based on any scientific theory. It was a religious claim from a mystic priest of a self-proclaimed cult. Yeah. This time, the claim is published in a top neuroscience journal based on a prominent theory of brain function and co-authored by one of the most influential neuroscientists ever. Which doesn't mean it's true, but...
Just really quick, on the side here, I have, Portal Proficiency apparently adds 30 new levels. Face up to 30 brain testing remarkably unsafe test chambers in 3 chapters. Yeah. New feature, place the portals in the new test chambers yourself. Yeah, damn. Yeah. So yeah, I'll definitely acquire it and see what I think. Yeah.
Is it? Sentient has 2 main meanings, being responsive to or being conscious of sense impressions. So it has to get sensory input and then either respond to it or be conscious of it. The creators of DishBrain focus on the responding part, which is easier to define, but they don't just mean moving the Pong paddle. You could program a computer to do that perfectly based on simple rules without any learning at all. DishBrain doesn't blindly follow orders, it controls its own behavior, sort of like you do. The idea they were testing in the study is that brains are self-organizing sense-making machines. If neurons are getting sensory input from their environment, they'll spontaneously try to figure out what's causing it, and if they have a way to act on their environment, they'll try to get some control over it, like a baby learning how to use a fork.
I was going to say, I probably won't play all 30 of the DLC levels, but I'll definitely check it out just out of interest. Yeah, these days I'm also, that's another thing I'm doing, is I'm not promising to finish things anymore. I used to have a thing about that. I would always like to finish everything I play, but especially when it comes to like DLC stuff or like bonus stuff from the main game. I'm not I'm not gonna promise to finish it anymore. I'll always finish like a main story, a main game, but yeah. Anyway.
You get sensory input in the form of light waves and sound waves, and you transduce them into electrical impulses to build mental maps of the world around you. Then you send motor signals, also in the form of electrical impulses, to move around that world. DishBrain gets information about the Pong world directly in the form of electrical stimulation from 8 electrodes in this sensory brain.
Yeah, what the thing that you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, like, it mentioned it at the start. Apparently taking baby foreskin and infecting the tissue with something causes the cells to revert to stem cells. How the fuck does that happen? What the heck? And then they use that as like what is essentially like early stage brain tissue. That's fucking weird. That's so fucking weird.
Part of the brain plate. It can move the paddle by activating these neurons, whose activity is picked up by electrodes in these motor areas. One side moves it up, one side moves it down. But nobody teaches it the rules of Pong. So how does it learn? Discipline. In conditioning, a punishment is something that makes a behavior less likely in the future. What kind of electrical stimulation would be a better punishment when the little brain misses the ball? 10 quick pulses from all 8 electrodes in sync? Or 4 seconds of random stimulation? Why would a bunch of neurons care what kind of stimulation they get? Because they're looking for patterns. If they're trying to make sense of the world, they're going to like it when sensory information is predictable. Imagine you're a tiny brain plugged into the Pong matrix. You're getting all this weird new stimulation telling you when the ball is close to the paddle. And you start to notice that when you fire these neurons at the right time and the ball hits the paddle, you get a nice little burst of stimulation. There's nothing inherently good about this little bit of stimulation, but you like that it's predictable. It's a sign that you're starting to understand the Pong world and get some control over what happens. But if you let the ball get past the paddle, you get this random stimulation you can't make sense of. If you're trying to learn about the world through active inference, moving around and seeing what happens as a result, you'll want to avoid actions with unpredictable consequences. So random stimulation was used as a punishment to reduce the undesirable behavior of missing the ball. And when they hit the ball, they got predictable stimulation as a reward. And it worked. They got better at returning the ball over a 20-minute training session. They got aced less often and had significantly longer rallies. They still weren't great, you could easily beat them, but they learned in 10 or 15 rallies what it took a digital AI 5,000 rallies to learn. Sure, a computer could simulate those 5,000 rallies way faster, but biological systems are natural problem solvers, and research like this might help us understand how they learn so efficiently. So
this is fucking weird. Do I keep watching or should I leave it there? Is this biology? Yeah, I'll leave the rest. If you want to go investigate that, you can watch the rest yourself. Man, that's weird. That's like, that's so upset. Like, for me, that's weirdly upsetting. In my YouTube page, it's showing Green Screen Challenge by Rorius. Ah, yes. I sang, it's literally the title of this stream. The title is probably here actually. It's I sang that song. And I was hoping that people might do something silly with it. And I believe someone did. I believe someone actually made something like, I remember seeing at least one or two people submitted something on the Reddit for me to watch. But yeah. That's what that is.
Hey mate, how you going? So like, mate, I got like my drum stream on Float Plane, hey, and like I like to try and come up with ways to ruin it and to just make it really unpleasant to watch. And so like I'm proud to show my latest invention, mate. That like it's the stick cam. Like it's great, mate. Like I actually genuinely have to hold it like
probably.
this. And like, mate, the zip tie is 100% necessary, hey, because like it just kind of goes like this as soon as you get started. But not since putting in the Genius zip ties, mate. She holds pretty good. And like I think she's guaranteed to cause headaches.
Oh, I see what's
and just
happening.
Kind of head strain in general. And you know, like check it out for yourself.
Well, I've invented something awful today. Yeah.
Oh no.
It's stinking stick cam. Isn't
Stick
this
cam.
nice?
Oh. Immediate like motion sickness. I already have a bit of a headache. You know what? I have drugs right here. Garbage stream. I was gonna say, I was curious if people could understand the guy or not, because he had a strong Australian accent.
It's not perfect. It keeps
My head
slipping
hurts,
about.
yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh, we gonna get a yawn, Frank? You're doing the licking like you're gonna give us one. We're gonna get a frunk face. You wanna... Well, I hope you enjoyed Stick Cam, because it's going
Snake
away.
Cam as well.
It was fun, right?
I'm already sick. No more. No more. Yeah. I had like drugs. I have ibuprofen 150 milligrams, paracetamol 500 milligrams. Maxigesic is the brand, not sponsored. But Maxigesic, if you would like to sponsor the channel. What's the drink? Oh, it's Coke no sugar. Because I'm a fat ass, but I'm trying to make that not the case. So it's, yeah, Coke but no sugar.
Here's a boring bit of drum
Tastes
kit
just
knowledge
like
you didn't
regular
ask
Coke,
for.
honestly.
The cleaning of cymbals in the drum scene is controversial. If a cymbal sounds
Oh.
awesome, then cleaning it will change it. It also removes
Right,
the logos
yes.
and all the markings. I mean, look at this Sabin hand hammer crash cymbal. Nearly nothing left of those logos. It really sucks if it's a relic, like finding vintage Zildjians where the ink stamps is so rare. And like, I agree, if it sounds great, don't clean it. But if you want the symbol to sound like new, then that would be when it's clean. And if it wasn't for losing the logos, I think it's incredibly satisfying. Like, mate, here are 2 Sabian splashes that came free with a kit I bought. No trace of the logos left, so no one can get upset at me. These don't look particularly filthy, but mate, I know these are meant to look like jewelry. There's official symbol cleaners, even from Sabian and Zildjian themselves, but I want big results, so I'm going old mate Brasso. It's the most brutal. There's heaps of ammonia in it, but mate, I want that shiny shine. And like, Brasso absolutely stinks. I've got a window open with a fan blowing, and like, please don't hate yourself like I do, and wear gloves. Like, my hands got so dried out from doing this, I'm an idiot. There you go. Whew. What a difference. As I said, I knew it was meant to look like jewelry, which got me thinking. Like, mate, what if you use the grime to etch patterns into the symbol? Like, don't fight the filth, mate. Use the filth. It was annoying because the stickers don't hold well. Because the
when he's putting it on, he has such an Australian accent.
But like, mate, I survived, and there we are. Strong like, Sabian, give me a ring, mate. I can design symbols for you any day, hey? Like, I can do swear words and some non-swear words. Mostly swear words, and to bring it home, I fully
like,
cleaned
no
that
more money because you said
and
drugs.
now it actually looks
Can relate to being
again, really showed how filthy those symbols really were.
Yeah.
Dingus!
Dingus. That's really, that's a, I will say, fascinating seeing a symbol so clean. I don't think I've ever seen a symbol so clean. All the drum kits that I ever came across in my life were all those kinds that I suppose the people like refused to clean them, so they always looked like this. I've never seen one look so shiny. Yeah, no, I'm trying to like maybe be a little better and lose a bit of weight, but it's not going well. For me, fizzy drinks are like sparkling water. I've only ever seen. Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. Well, I'm a weirdo and I enjoy sparkling water. Well, I enjoy like LaCroix, not just like bland, plain sparkling water. Why is it spicy? I love that meme where it's like, you know, giving a dog sparkling water. They like shop the eyes and the stuff over the dog. Why is it spicy? You've only seen symbols so clean at your school. Even the ones that I came across at school were never this shiny. Like maybe they weren't this faded, but they were never this shiny. Like, that's amazing. I try doing sit-ups and push-ups every Wednesday. I kind of slacked though. I see, yeah. Yeah. I literally all I've been trying is just like slowly reducing the amount of stuff I eat. But it has not worked out. There always ends up being like a sneaky something eaten somewhere and then no progress has been made. A game more broken than Pokemon Red and Blue. Pokemon Green, Japanese. Oh! Wait. This isn't that thing you were talking about before, is it? No. Pokemon Green?
Hi.
Yeah, hello, can I help you?
Hi, sir. Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior, Onyx?
Hey, thanks for watching this.
Okay, that was literally, they timestamped it for that moment. Alright. Yeah. Being a soda addict, good with both sugar-free and regular. It's about taste, not health precautions. Fair. I will say, like, coconut sugar, it's really good. Like, I'm not a sponsor, hashtag not sponsored. But, especially, actually, for me, oh, wait, I'm gonna have another sip. For me, Sprite no sugar. I think I actually prefer it to regular Sprite, and I prefer it to almost any other soda that I've had in recent memory. Sprite no sugar, or zero sugar Sprite, or whatever they call it, I forget. Really good, like really good. It just tastes so clean and fresh, and you know, because it's got that mild citrus taste that Sprite has, like just refreshing, and yeah, really really good. I'm gonna skip this one because we already watched an Atomic Shrimp one earlier. I will give him a thumbs up though because I do like Atomic Shrimp. FTX has collapsed over 1 billion in customer funds lost. Yeah, yeah, I heard about this.
FTX, the world's second most popular crypto exchange, has pretty much completely collapsed. They filed for bankruptcy. Their own token, FTT, just did a Luna. The company is under investigation by US authorities, and they have allegedly been hacked for over $500 million worth of crypto. And you can see that crypto being moved around on Etherscan right now. Damn. This is the hardest crash and burn I think I've ever seen an exchange go through. So boys, go ahead now and press an F to pay respects to the people that lost their cryptocurrency because they trusted FTX with their private keys. And also pay...
I was gonna say, I don't like cryptocurrencies. Personally, I think NFTs, cryptocurrencies, and all that stuff, I think it sucks. I think all of it is bullshit. I am reveling. I'm enjoying great Schadenfreude from the current situations in this field. And so yeah, like I have no sympathy at all for people losing all their shit through this. I still can't believe Grimes supports NFTs. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a few people who have been like somehow convinced that NFTs are a good thing. It's really sad when you hear it. Like the amount of game companies that have like, we're gonna sell NFTs of our game now. It's like, what are you doing? No, stop.
Respects to every crypto investor who doesn't even use FTX, who wasn't even aware of them, but they've been wondering what the hell has been going on for the past few weeks with the crypto markets. Bitcoin has been dumping. The stablecoin Tether got unpegged from the dollar briefly. That's not supposed to happen in the crypto world. This is like the US dollar suddenly losing 7 cents in value. So FTX founder and former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried, aka SBF, who was thought to be like the crypto equivalent of Warren Buffett, okay? This guy who started the crypto company that was getting commercials played at the Super Bowl, the same crypto company that had its name on the Miami Heat's basketball stadium.
I think it's so funny that the ad that they played for FTX had the freaking, what the hell's that show called? The like bum 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 that music. Can't freaking remember what the hell it's called now. They had that guy, the actor from that TV show, on their ad being like a crypto doubter. And then this fucking shit happens. It's so perfect. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna move on. I fucking hate crypto. Yeah, it's another gambling interest, just more delusional and plenty of scam. That's the thing, is it's like investment systems, you know. It's like you can put your money in a company and then you get profits from that company and stuff like that. It's another form of investment. However, so pardon me. Oh my god, I'm burping. So abusable. And it spawns from nothing. You know, anyone can make an NFT, pretty much. And try and sell it. It's what I like to refer to as vaporware. It's stuff that doesn't exist. It's just like it's smoke and mirrors. It's all just like, you think you own a thing. You think you own a physical thing, but it's all just data, and so it's all just fucking vaporware. It's all just smoke and mirrors. The company that's issuing the NFTs, they go down, suddenly all that value is gone. It's not real. it's all vapor. I don't know, that's my opinion on it. Anyway, the Forbidden Dark spell. Oh, Fire Emblem mind control glitch.
Oh, hello there. I don't get many visitors out here. I'm Kanas, but if you found me, then you probably already knew that. The continents of Elib and Magvel are the only regions where you'll be able to cast the ultimate dark spell. Specifically, you'll need to play either Fire Emblem 7, the Blazing Blade, or Fire Emblem 8, the Sacred Stones. We'll start with Fire Emblem 7, since that's the game that introduced both the spell and myself. In order to cast the spell, you'll need a very special reagent, which can be obtained from this lovely old lady in a village in Chapter 13 of Ellawood's story. It contains some very explosive magic. Does she know? The intended function of the mine is to booby-trap a space, which will deal 10 damage to and end the turn of the next unit to step on the tile. But we dark magic users have always been a crafty bunch. You might even say mine-crafty. Set the mine where you expect an enemy to traverse, and as soon as they spring the trap and the explosion, shut the game off.
And leave it off! Don't do it. It's not an enemy control glitch. It's a player Ready to continue?
Once you resume the game, you'll find that enemies are very cooperative. They'll do anything you command. You can make them discard their weapons, turning them into sitting ducks, lambs to the slaughter. This knight decided he wants to take up archery. Now he's bow-locked. Yikes. Once the spell has been cast, the battle is over. You can disable every enemy on the map and even make them do silly things like give their friends piggyback rides. Tough enemy blocking the objective? Not anymore. He decided he'd rather take a stroll in the nearby forest. Ambushed by a high movement boss with a killer weapon? After a change of heart, he decided to try his luck in the arena. I'd say better luck next time. But you're dead! You can, of course, force goons to make the ultimate sacrifice and suicide into Marcus, although I think that also happens in normal gameplay. Can you imagine having complete control over the lives of an army? Everyone forced to obey your every command, like marionettes on strings, dancing until they're tossed aside for the next new toy. Really unnatural stuff. I can see why they call this dark magic. But enough doom and gloom. Let's lighten the mood with some shopping. Enemies can enter shops and make purchases for you, although they'll use your wallet and weapons will be stuck in their inventory. Unfortunately, you can't trade directly with enemies, but there are still ways to transfer their items into permanent player possession. The first method is simple. Enemies can access the convoy, so as long as they're near Merlinus, whether he's in tent or wagon form, they can plop their items straight into the stash. The second method is more difficult, but can be used on enemies nowhere near Merlinus. Some enemies are programmed to drop items, shown in blinking green text. However, they don't actually drop that item. They'll drop whatever the last item in their inventory is. Since you can gain control over them and enemies can trade among their own faction, you can exploit this to obtain, I don't know, a special Uber Spear that boosts a bunch of your stats. It's not quite a holy weapon, more an unholy weapon in the context of our tactic.
Anyway, we'll move on. Interesting. Really interesting. It's so weird when games have bugs like that, because it's, I mean, part of me was like, how is it not found? But I guess no one would have probably tested turning the game off when a really specific action's happening. So weird. So weird. Nice hat. Thank you. What's your feel on playing roguelikes on this channel? I'm not a huge fan of roguelikes, but I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I think the hat is a lie. How have I fallen for this? Wait, you thought it was real? Oh, brilliant. So glad. I'm so glad. Got that Christmas drip. Yeah. That is the realest hat you'll ever see. Ah, okay. Yeah. But I'm so glad still that's at least, even for a moment, it looked real. I'm so glad. Random recommendation. You can look up Nuclear Throne. Ah. Okay, Nuclear Throne. Oh, okay. It's very minimalistic and action-packed in gameplay, lots of straightforward fun. Right. Okay. I mean, I'll check this out. I'll keep that open and then check it out later. It worked. Yeah. All right. How I recreated God of War in 3 days. Oh.
Do you see him? Looks like me, but it's not me. That is an idiot. 4 days ago, he remembered that God of War Ragnarok is releasing in a couple of days. He also remembered that he doesn't have a PlayStation to play it on. As I said, he's an idiot. So he thought to himself, if I can't play God of War, I'll just make my own God of War game. Can't be that
I still haven't played the...
Do I have to say it again? And I'll
the
make
modern God of War
so that I
games.
can upload the video about it on Friday. He started by not recording the screen, so all we're left with to see the blockout of Kratos' head is this time-lapse. The idea was to focus on Kratos, because I'm way better at creating characters than creating video game levels. This is also the first time that I went through the whole process of creating a game-ready character, so I wanted to make sure that Kratos looks as good as possible.
I think it's somewhat close. Of course, you know, refining it should get it a little closer.
I'm not that good at likeness sculpting, but after refining the blockout, I think it's good enough to be seen as Kratos. When I blocked out his body, I forgot how massive his muscles are. At first, he was way too small. I kept the individual parts separate at first so that if something seems off, I can always adjust it. Afterwards, I can just merge them all together, smooth out the gaps in between, and refine the shapes even more. Past me might have been an idiot, but he had a few aces up his sleeve. Right now, the body is very, very dense. I need to make it way less dense so that we can actually use it in-game. This is basically the model that I want to use for this. This, as you can see, has way less geometry. So now that everything is
the same. I'm loving this.
3, 2, 1, go.
What the fuck?
Look at that. That's how quick you can become Kratos. The final version of the body has lost all detail that I've added before, but with the multi-resolution modifier, I can just transfer those details over again, and then even add a few more to make him look even more muscular and battle-worn, just like a true God of War. Do not completely
I am incredibly impressed with
obliterate the performance in-game. You usually don't use geometry to retain those details. That's where baking comes into play.
Very smooth. But if you go into render view, you can see, we can still see all the details.
The ingredients that we need are the high density model, the low density model, and an image texture. Once the baking process is done, all the details are saved on the texture. Time to model the armor.
Here's the day 1 ending. I think this took roughly 2 hours. So if we put that to all the other things, maybe we get to like 6 hours or whatever. I'm still optimistic, okay?
I was gonna say, oh my god, all that armor and stuff.
Looking at all these details and seeing how detailed
I would go for a God of War 2
so that I can get it there
look instead, because he's mostly...
Idiot past me was suddenly realizing that it will take way longer than expected, focusing way too much on small details like the strap. Nobody cares about the strap.
So I'm not gonna add all the intricate details that we can see here.
Yeah, that didn't matter. Still took 6 hours. I spent half my day modeling the armor while there's so much more to do to finish Kratos.
Yeah, in the old God of War games, he would just have
and make sure that everything works.
like a couple of things on, and that's it.
All these
Modern God of War has a bunch of extra
but that probably would have taken the whole day. So I stuck with
outfitting.
Thrift Shop Kratos. Oh hey, I can actually automatically rig my character with Mixamo. Oh no.
Oh man, I used Unreal for a little bit. I'm so not used to.
Okay, first I need to UV unwrap all armor pieces so that I can apply textures to them, which means going through each individual piece, cutting them apart, and putting them all into the two-dimensional texture.
So just really quick. This is God of War 2. His outfit. So like most of him is naked. He's got this like robe thing on, and he's got some boots and gloves, but that's it in terms of like attire. You compare that to God of War. I'm just gonna look it up like that. I should just look up Kratos. Oh my god, it's not Kratos. Yeah, the modern era version is so much more detailed, so much more shit on. Yeah. Anyway.
Space. Yeah, so at least I could import him without any problems. Then it was time to add the animations, and that is when everything went downhill. Idiot could not figure out how to apply animations from Mixamo to Kratos without breaking them. And here it is. At this point, Idiot Past Me realized that he couldn't finish the Kratos model and also create a decent looking level with the time that was left. But then he remembered a few months ago I recorded a video where I learned Unreal Engine for 24 hours straight, which I've never released. I could steal the word from that and use it for this project. Just desaturate a few textures, change the lighting, and there you go. We have a cold and wintry forest.
And he's finally in the game. It is time to actually make him look like Kratos.
I've painted a few textures in my time, so texture painting wasn't a problem. Start with the base color, turn him into Nosferatu, add his cute war paint, finish it off with some eyeshadow, and his God of War makeup is done. Slap a few textures together to create the final look for the armor pieces. Copy the same texture to all the other pieces with minimal color changes. Minimal input, maximum output. That's all that matters. Add the beard that I definitely didn't want to add with haircuts before. Totally give up on the fur coat underneath his armor. Who cares about that anyway? Import everything into Unreal and... I think I'm pretty happy with the end result. Maybe my first idea of what I could achieve in 3 days was maybe a little bit too much. Here we see the Shrine of Victory reaching the top. You can now see what you can do in 3 days. Of course, you can probably be even quicker with some things, like sculpting the model. I could have probably done way quicker. Let's actually finish the game that we have here right now, okay? Maybe I'm gonna expand it in the future. Go in here. This looks pretty good, but I had a few more ideas that I wanted to add afterwards. So I spent a few more hours the next day, and here's the final result.
Yeah, really cool. Really fascinating. I was very impressed with the modeling stuff he was doing on Kratos' body, because it looked so detailed, so highly detailed. I'm always fascinated with like realistic, or you know, like humanoid shapes, humans, like natural looking faces, and yeah, especially faces, but also bodies as well. It's always very fascinating. I was actually thinking of getting God of War 3 as I have a PS3. Right. Mom, can I play God of War Ragnarok? No, we have God of War Ragnarok at home. God of War Ragnarok at home. Yeah, this version. Yeah. 3 days. Shepard. I was gonna say, yeah, I loved God of War back in the day. I played God of War 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 2 being on PlayStation and 3 being on PS3. Sorry, 1 and 2 being on PS2 and God of War 3 being on PS3. I have not played much of any other God of War game. There are some other ones like for the PSP and stuff like that I never really played. But, yeah, I never got around to playing the modern ones for some reason. Don't know why. But now we have cow eating contest.
Oh, why do we get assignments like this?
This guy's amazing. This creator.
Sniper, go! Hello, gentlemen. I'm the spy, and this is cow eating contest. My laborer friend will make meat? Yeah. Tell us more. Ha! You know, beef been run over by a combine.
Oh my god.
What the hell?
PS4 for Christmas? Oh, nice, nice. Yeah.
Ah! Huh? Oh! Yes! Oh, what's up? No!
That sucks.
You seeing this?
Look at me! Is anybody even paying attention to me?
Yo, if you didn't want me to kill you, say something.
How about goodbye?
Yeah, I really want to get a PS5, but I just
What
can't
have we
afford
got
it.
here?
And I can't be bothered to join any sort of queues and stuff for it.
Hoxton from Payday here.
That makes you a criminal.
Shit a brick.
Bunch of bricks. A PS6.
What? Engineer!
Gabe in.
Bring me sandwich!
Gabe Newell's sitting in the background.
Beef, boy.
I think it's Gabe Newell. PlayStation 10.
Good. Everybody ready? Nom nom nom. Nom nom nom.
Toothpick and all.
Delicious.
They catch fire too easily. Oh my god, Pyre trying to eat, but the mask.
Nom nom.
Oh my god.
Oh hell. Medic! Medic!
Incoming! Yeah.
In my medical opinion, that head looks ridiculous.
This is actually really bad.
It's already flies around.
Now that is what I want to see.
Cashier, no, you're gonna have to pay full price.
Now that is not something you see every day.
Oh my god. I just robbed them for a PS5. I mean, just a whole thing with chopsticks. Heavy just eats the entire sandwich with the toothpick still in it. Medic, he's a minor. Calm down. I love this song, by the way. Ave Maria is like my favorite classical
Thanks,
song.
Doc. Good to go!
We did it, boys! Yes! Stupid kid!
No, amplifier.
Bloody spade!
No way!
My bomb! No! I wasn't supposed to!
I'm amazed that they got away with using all this music. Right, toothpicks, not chopsticks. I was gonna. It's like when you said chopsticks, I was like, do they mean toothpicks? Like, so I just assumed. You meant toothpicks. Spy React, episode 278. I love that freaking song. It's Take On Me by Aha. But it was like a remixed version. Imagine someone trying to skip paying full price for a PS5 and negotiating at the cash register. Yeah. That's the thing. In some places and some cultures, that is normal. Bartering in a store is like a normal thing, which is fascinating to me because I would never barter in a store. even just bartering on a street, like on a street, on like a market, feels wrong to me. I'm not a barterer type person. On the topic of carbonated beverages, ever tried kvass? No. The most like out there kind of sodas I've tried. I mean, I've tried Iron Brew from the UK. Unfortunately, I was not a fan. Unfortunately, it was fine. I just wasn't that big. It wasn't that. I wasn't that into it. I've also tried sodas from Japan. There's a few different sodas in Japan that I tried, and Japan has amazing soda. They're peach flavored sodas. I love peach flavored things, and they basically don't exist here. They're very rare, at least. So having like a peach soda that I got from like a convenience store, like a 7-Eleven, oh, so good. That's the thing. It's one of the things I missed. That I missed the most about Japan is their beverages and their snack stuff. They're like their varieties of flavors of just everything. So good. But no, I've never even heard of kvass. And taking up an hour of time by doing so. Taking up an hour negotiating the price, yeah. Ugh. I saw a video on some Karen trying to steal a PS5 from a kid. Oh my god. And the Karen gave the kid $300 for an empty PS5 box. Oh, I see what you mean. Nice. Similar to root beer. Oh, okay. I don't mind root beer. So yeah, I'd probably enjoy it. I was gonna say, there's a few flavors that I don't mind that other people are like. Let's just say I've tasted and enjoyed sarsaparilla. That's an interesting one. There's this brand that's from Australia that does like brewed drinks. You know, they're Bundaberg ginger. They normally do ginger beer, but they're a brand called Bundaberg Breweries. Not once again, hashtag not sponsored. I really like their drinks though, and they did this like box that was like 6 different flavors of brewed things. They do fruit juice kind of things, as well as like the brewed mix has or like this particular mix that has sarsaparilla in it has like lemonade, has like the brewed lemonade, sarsaparilla. It had shit, what else did I have in it? It's got 6 flavors. I can't remember them for some reason. But yeah, sarsaparilla is like an old American, I think it's American, not actually sure. Soda, or like it's almost like more like a tonic. And it's kind of like sarsaparilla is a bit like the licorice of drinks, where it's a very strange flavor, but I actually enjoyed it. I got used to it. I have to try mug root beer. Oh. Anyone remember chocolate flavored soda? Oh no. About that beer, would you? Kvass is like a fermented rye flour and bread yeast drink. Right. A little bit of sugar. Surprisingly good, but I will admit, I add more sugar to it. It's fair enough. Yeah. Common drink in Eastern European countries. Ah. I've never heard of it before. But I like obscure sodas and drinks and, you know, things like that. So I'd probably enjoy it. Again, I enjoyed sarsaparilla, which is the closest thing I could describe to its flavor is it's almost kind of like a similar in nature to licorice. But one thing I will mention is it is is a spy reacting? Yeah, spy reacts. I'll watch this in a second. The most common place that I've come across the flavor of sarsaparilla before tasting the actual drink, this is gonna sound horrible, is weirdly at the dentist. Dentists will sometimes have these little cups of like green or obscure colored fluids that they use to get you to like sip it, wash it around in your mouth, and spit it out into the little sink next to the thing. for some God only knows reason, sarsaparilla root flavor is a common I've come across that being used in that context multiple times before. So you may have had sarsaparilla flavored something. You just swallow it. I mean, I think that you're allowed to. I think you can. What I think is Gatorade to wash my mouth. Right. That's an Irish I love potato soda. Favorite sodas in general, Coke of any brand variety, Dr. Pepper and Schweppes. Yeah, I like Schweppes as well. Not a huge fan of Dr. Pepper personally. It's got that I don't even know what you would call it, like the cinnamon flavor to it. And I like cinnamon, but I'm not a huge fan of it in drink form. I'm sure if I drank Dr. Pepper a bunch, I'd probably like it. I'd come to like it. But just whenever I have it, I'm always like, I guess in my mind, I'm always wanting Coke, and Dr. Pepper was my second choice. And so it's always disappointing. But, and which is the same with Pepsi. It's the same reason I don't like Pepsi as much as I like Coke. Yeah, Dr. Pepper is one of those ones. It's not common here. We don't get, like, it's pretty rare to find Dr. Pepper here in New Zealand. But, every time I have, I've been mixed. I will always still drink it, but I'm not a huge fan. Not just the green liquid, but the cup as well. Cup as well. You just swallow the cup. Oh, gets a rope and starts the car engine. Oh. Just buy boxes of Dr. Pepper and drink it until you like it. Drink it until I like it. I mean, yeah, that would work. We've been drinking Dr. Pepper. No, not Dr. Pepper. We're drinking Pepsi and 7-Up recently because it's cheap. Because it's a cheap alternative. 7-Up is great. Honestly, 7-Up and Sprite are like as good as each other. But yeah, Pepsi just isn't quite the same as Coke. They're still very good, but I much prefer Coke. Do you like how any alcoholic drink works? Yeah, I guess. Yeah. 100%. I despise alcohol, but it's because I never really drank it when I was a teenager. Like, I did, but I didn't enjoy drinking it. I didn't drink it frequently enough to get addicted to or enjoy its flavor. So wines and beers, I'm just not that into them. Anyway, we should watch this.
Hello again, super spies, and welcome back to Spy Reacts. Today, we will watch The Heavy is a Fat-Headed Abomination by Dispenser Poop 69. Don't forget to stab that subscribe button. So, let us proceed.
It's illegal to not drink beer or alcohol. Yeah.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, you blockhead. No.
No. Like, you can see his green screen. His green screen isn't, like, keyed out properly. Brilliant.
It's funny because The Heavy is fat. That is a diet I call
Best pub beverage that is cheapest. That can't be topped by any soda. Water.
Among Us.
Oh my god.
Pyro, eat my ass, you mush-mouthed fuck. This video is sponsored by Dispenser. Shut up. Pretty bra washer. Gone away. Buy one for the price of 2.
Buy one for the price of 2.
Yes! A spy. Let's push them back. The champion.
Not a fan of water. Fair.
Fuck! Engineers, help me! The Heavy is coming. Ah, hell. Alrighty then. Building a sentry. Hey, Oh, no! Here I come! Uh-oh. Sentry down! Ah! We gotta make Heavy eat the cost! Good idea. Help! Heavy, come on here!
Well, I used to always have invisible water on my desk.
Spy! What? Little spy must have defense! Gone away! What was that? I'm making a video! What?
Literally in the middle of the battlefield.
I'm dying here. We are
Come on! No, you don't understand it! No! Help! Next time, I will crush
Yeah, what I used to do is I used to have like multiple bottles and I would stick them in the fridge so that that was really good. That was really well made. I like that a lot. I could tell it was made with the like it wasn't like a Gmod one, it was like a proper Source Filmmaker one with a like filters and stuff on it. It looked really smooth and clean. No, my RTX 3090. Yeah, I'd have like 3 bottles that I'd have on rotation basically. So I'd have like 2 of them in the fridge, like ideally 2 of them in the fridge, and I'm using one of them. As soon as I finish the one that I'm using, fill it up, put it in the fridge, grab another one from the fridge. And so very frequently, like every other stream, I would have the invisible water on my desk. But now I just have Coke all the time. So I just have this fucking cup. Not into alcohol, smoking, or drugs, but it means little or nothing with my addiction to sodas and trash food. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, no, I say as filtered water. So here in New Zealand, or at least in my households, it is tap water technically speaking, but it's we bought filters for our taps so that we have the regular water, and then we have the police. We have like a filter tap, which you know, runs the water through a filter so that it's nice filtered water. Filtered water tastes like 1,000 times better than tap water. Tap water is the worst. Disgusting. Coke, so you have more drugs. Yeah. Coke. Just straight Coke. This is the perfect opportunity to get G Fuel or even your own G Fuel code. I would love to. Actually, can you just apply to have your own G Fuel code? If so, hilarious. I would totally do that. Filtered water won't kill you, unlike tap. That's just it. Tap water, awful. But filtered water actually tastes great. It just tastes like nothing, you know. Once you filter all the shit out of it, water basically just tastes like nothing. And then when you cool it down, cold water is amazing. Straight cold water, like fridge cold water, so good. Yeah, tap water is like disgusting. At least here in New Zealand, at least here in Auckland, you can actually just drink straight from the tap. It might taste foul, but it's not gonna kill you. Some areas further in other parts of the country, like I remember we traveled to an area down south where I was told that you shouldn't I was told by the people living there, don't drink the tap water. The tap water isn't safe to drink. But that was back when I was a little kid, so it might have changed by now. There was a time where there was unsafe to drink tap water in some parts of New Zealand. POV, us British needing filters for our taps. Yeah, I mean, that's the same. Like, if you want to drink from a tap here in New Zealand, you really want to have a filter on it. Yeah, if your water has taste, you know you have a problem. That's just it. It has like the problem here in New Zealand is that we have a big old infrastructure for taps for water systems, you know, and that it is like treated and in some areas filtered by the systems themselves. I think they have filters and treatment in most of the country now. But by the time it travels through the pipes to get to your house, and then go through the plumbing in your house to get to the end of the tap, it takes on a lot of shit. It takes on a lot of stuff from the pipe system. So having a filter right at the end of the system, like right at your sink, just brings it back to that natural, pure quality. Exactly. The pipes are old, and so there's so much shit that comes from the pipes. Yeah. You drink, like, it's not even necessarily rust, but, like, metal leaking. Like, there were areas where pipes were made from lead, but then coated in something, oh, no, leaching. That's what it's called, leaching. You have, like, lead pipes that were then coated in another metal to protect them from the lead. And those pipes, you know, after years and years of use, the surface layer starts to wear away and you start getting lead leaching into the fucking water. So, you know, that's the worst case scenario. Tap water, like, what will happen if I do? Most places you can drink the tap water. It's just not as, you know, metal leaching sounds even worse. Yeah, that's what is a concern in a lot of the world at the moment. A lot of the Western world is metal leaching, or the pipes leaching basically particles of the metal or of the material that the pipe is made of getting into the water as the water passes through. That's a common problem. If your pipes are 40, 60 years old, you're gonna have leaching. Yeah. Pipes are so old that Mario won't even climb through them. Exactly. Alright. Oh, peb trees. Another crazy... Oh, this is gonna be weird. This is gonna be deeply upsetting, isn't it?
Tonight is the night I do it. Tonight is the night I get my hands on the Krabby Patty secret formula, and SpongeBob is going to hand deliver it to me personally. 5 hours later.
But yeah, so that's why in our households we filter our water.
Evil laughing sounds.
Because the other thing, sorry to interrupt the video. The other thing is, like, if you drink bottled water, like if you buy bottled water, the problem with bottled water is microplastics. Storing water in plastic, you just naturally, once again, particles from the container that you're storing it in get into the water. So, like buying bottled water, you end up with microplastics. You drink straight from the tap, you end up with fucking metal leaching. The best option, if the world could afford it, the best option for water transport and delivery and consumption is the best for water storing, water transport, water consumption, glass. Glass is such a good material for like containment and distribution of liquids. I wish that glass I wish that we could use glass for more stuff. The problem with glass, of course, is it's so fragile. You can't have pipes going across the entire country to distribute water. Let's just not drink anything. Yeah. Glass doesn't have that leaching issue. You don't get, like, glass is the most pure. That's why Coke in a glass bottle is top tier Coke, because you don't get any of the plastic from the plastic bottle getting into the Coke. You don't get any of the, like, you're not, you know, you're not getting into the metal from the metal cans getting into the Coke. It's just top tier. Very nice. Definitely real Christmas. Only the best quality Santa apparel on this on this channel. To be honest, nowadays everything has at least one microplastic. Oh, 100%. Stop the message, pros. Our tap water is filtered and clean, perfect for drinking. Cons, our Victorian sewage pipes are freaking... Oh, yes. Yes. Oh. Glass is class. Yeah. Top tier. If the British just distributed their clean drinking water to the world, we would be rich and not have to pay £50 for a drop of water anymore. Right, yeah. Yeah. I've often talked about the fact that a technology that really needs to be worked on and actively attempted to be made real is higher volume desalination plants. So desalination, if you don't know, is the process of taking seawater or water full of things like salt. Salination is the removal of salt, or desalination, removal of salt. Taking seawater, filtering it, and turning it into drinkable fresh water. And there are so many places in the world that, you know, water is an issue. Being able to find ways to convert seawater into drinkable or usable freshwater rapidly is so it's so valuable and should be focused on so much more. You could solve so many problems in so many places if you could find like voluminous fast desalination, but at the moment it's just not feasible. So we don't take... No, some places do have desalination. That is something that is done. But yes, your childhood is a lie. Most water doesn't come from the sea. Most water, like the sea, is undrinkable, unusable water. I'm actually disappointed it's not a real hat. I put this on, by the way, at the start of the stream. I put this on because I couldn't find my Santa hat and Santa scarf for the stream, so I was like, this'll do. Because I have the crown as well. I have the like little crown that I sometimes have that I wear sometimes just for no particular reason. So I was like, oh, I'll do that for the Santa hat. Oh, I live in Auckland, New Zealand. Song of the day, Two Door Cinema Club. Are we ready? I always thought that glass bottle Coke is the best tasting Coke. It is. It's just it is top tier. It's because it doesn't leach anything into the Coke, so the Coke is the most fresh Coke you can get. The most like pure fresh Coke, so it tastes so good. Oh, hey Mecca. Welcome. Boiling seawater doesn't do much, does it? Well, no, boiling seawater is a method for desalination, but it's just so slow. Imagine drinking water straight from the sea. The amount of salt and bacteria, yeah. Oh, if you just a drop of seawater onto a onto a one of those dishes that you use with magnifying glass, with a you know what I'm talking about, under a microscope. A single drop of water is full of like plankton and microbacteria and microorganisms, sorry, and bacteria and stuff. It's disgusting. Rosie's upgraded his graphics card so the hat looks real. Yeah. Oh, hey Digits. Welcome. Yeah. Like seawater is full of life. So yeah, we can't drink like freshwater in like rivers and lakes. Some rivers. Don't do this with any river. Some rivers the fresh water that flows through them is basically free of anything. It's almost as bacteria free or life free as you can get. They're back in the day, my parents always talk about how you used to be able to just get like a mug and like scoop it out of the freshwater river and drink it straight. In New Zealand. New Zealand used to have this like we have this clean green image, and that used to be true back in like the 80s or 70s. You wouldn't want to do that now. There's a bunch of rivers that used to be super fresh, but now are full of like algae that come from overseas that have like destroyed the qualities of those rivers. Does anyone remember Burger King? Yes. I love the Burger King. No places have mascots anymore. The McDonald's clown, Ronald McDonald's, they don't use him anymore. Burger King doesn't use the king anymore. Sad times. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Digits. Some words banned in chat, like non-family friendly words, I think. Yeah, YouTube has just a built-in filter. I can't turn it off because I have it set in my settings that I don't automatically filter for stuff, but it still automatically filters. Like if you watch this chat here, you'll see when something doesn't come through. It's just YouTube's auto filter. There's just no, yeah, it's unfortunate. But yeah, so thank you, Digits, for dealing with the bot already. We just build a gigantic, and I mean gigantic life straw. The world will be saved from thirst. Well, yeah, exactly. It's like, basically, that's what I'm talking about. It's like a giant desalination plants that can produce large volumes of water rapidly. That is what people should be looking into that. And I'm sure there are scientists looking into that, but all desalination processes are so slow. If there's a way we could produce large volumes of water from desalination quickly, that'd be that would be revolutionary for the future of humanity. I miss mascots, but never the McDonald's clown. Oh my god, please, yeah. Ronald McDonald was always upsetting. Yeah, YouTube will automatically filter. Unlike desalination filtering, YouTube filtering is excessive and particularly strong. Anyway, get back to it. The fuck? Ooh, I hate that. That plankton be concerned listening to water contamination and storage issues for 10 minutes straight.
Wakey.
Morning already.
Look like a Lego brick, yeah.
Derek, help. Something's wrong. I'm not in control of my body.
Meow.
Somebody help. Squidward. Shitward. Help. H-H-H-H-E-E-L-L-L-L-P-P-P-P.
SpongeBob, what are you doing? Hello. SpongeBob, I'm talking to you. Are you mad? Shut your mouth, you mediocre clarinet player. Mediocre. You pretentious little insignificant artist. Your sniveling creations are
what the fuck
worthless
are we
and
watching?
protozoans waste.
So cursed, yeah. It's Pamtree.
Mediocre.
Pamtree is all their videos are so cursed. The music's so unsettling, but the TTS is making me cry. Right, yeah. The fuck? Of these videos. It's been so long since they've been on my feed. Right. I love these videos. Yeah.
Something must be wrong with my brain.
He's literally looking inside himself.
Plankton, I should have known.
Yes, it is I, Plankton.
What are you doing?
I am stealing the Krabby Patty secret
I could not watch this if
formula,
it wasn't a person with a Christmas hat in the corner.
With this mind control device, you are going to hand deliver it to me personally.
Get out of my head. Leave
His
my
recent video with
brain
squirrel jokes has
alone.
more life present within the characters. He even made a SpongeBob eye because right. But that's what makes it also unsettling. Is the fact that all the characters are so unnatural. The ugly crab. All the characters are so unnatural and so creepy. David Lynch's SpongeBob adaptation, yeah.
This is my laboratory. And this is my analyzer.
He's
It
not even a sponge, he's just a
analyzes
square.
anything it
It's
touches.
a yellow
Observe.
rectangle. Poor Bob, yeah.
Seaweed, 50% ski, 50% weed.
I was gonna say. Is it gonna do that?
Any last word, SpongeBob? Good. Now it is time to find out what makes Krabby Patties so delicious. 5,
What's wrong
4,
with my Windows
3,
XP computer?
2, 1.
I'm not mediocre.
Oh my god. Deeply upsetting. Alright, that's how it ends. Well then. Jesus. This video can take the title of Only in Ohio. I've heard the Ohio meme. Oh, happy cake day. Apparently the Reddit is 4 years old now. Actually, I'm curious. Top 10 posts. My computer after a power outage. We must preserve this footage for future generations. Title is all. Is it all, folks? Oh, the Tiana posted a picture thing. I mean, yeah, let's just have a real quick glance over them. We won't actually look at them properly. It'll just... These are the ones that have been upvoted the most, I suppose. But I don't really expect people to upvote stuff on the Reddit, so... Okay. Right, yep. This needs to be checked. Oh, yes. I hate this. I hate when this happens. Thankfully, most of the time, I've never had an issue with it, but I have at least once had this come up, and it's like, can't fix problem with one of the hard drives. Right, yep, that's a classic. Oh yes, yes. RNG's doing the music over the top of the audio from this video. The Rorius comic. Yep. That's a classic. Yeah, some yeah, some fan art. Yeah. Goofball. Yeah. Is it Cappuccino? Jonas's cat Cappuccino. The unicycle video for some reason. Yeah, that cool ray tracing video that we saw. Oh, someone's at the door. 1 second. Yeah, anyway. And then a cat video. 1 second, I'll be right back, guys. Entertain yourselves. Oh, I forgot to give it to you when
I saw it come through to say it'd be done.
Yeah, good. All good. It was a quick one. Chair stream. Chair with a Santa hat. Yes. It was a ghost in the chair. The hat it was floating. You 2022 YouTube Rewind win. I wonder what they're gonna do with that stuff nowadays. I have a feeling that YouTube Rewind is kind of dead now. Pizza Boys. Bonk. Nah, it was mum knocking on the door to, I had done something for her. She's not very computer literate, so she needed me to help her do something with her car online. You have to register your car here in New Zealand.
Oh, hey!
And they're like every 12 months sort of thing. So I had to borrow the letter that says, you know, your renewal is due. Add your credit card so I could pay for it.
I want to buy a burger.
Okay.
So I wanted her credit card back to go shopping. Yeah, Rewind is basically dead because they tried so hard to make this something that everyone would like, but everyone hated it. So, and then they did the friggin' list video version thing, and no one liked that, and so they're like, all right, no more.
Thanks, mate.
That huge kid. Banana Rice was knocking on the door. He's coming for me. First, leave Rorius alone. It's Christmas. It's the ghost of Christmas past. I hope Mr. Beast or someone takes over. I mean, there are plenty of channels that do their own YouTube rewinds anyway, so I think that's also part of why YouTube is like, we're not gonna bother anymore, because no one likes ours, but people like the creator-made ones.
Okay.
So.
Thanks.
It's just every window smashed. Take some glasses. Still wearing glasses.
God damn it! What the fuck?
This is 200 hours cool. Never tried it.
Nice try, pal.
Damn it!
Get out of here. Who wants some of this?
This is so chaotic.
Oh no! Don't you die on me! Son of a bitch! Oh, that's apples, mate.
I was like, what's that gonna do? Banana.
Oh no! Woo! Now that was close.
Can you run Elden Ring well on a PS4? Anyone tried? I don't know if is Elden Ring even available on PS4. I don't actually know. I've only I haven't. I don't think I own it.
Drive like my fucking grandmother, you know that?
You drive like my fucking grandma, you know?
Howdy, partner. What? It's a spy! Surprise!
The fucking music.
Hey yo, what the fuck? Get the fuck out of here.
Wait, what's this music from? I know this music.
No! You bitch!
Is available? Ah!
Sasha!
Oh, it probably will be. Probably will run at a low. It'll probably have just lower graphics, I imagine.
Okie dokie.
Yes, because that's how silences work. Make everything very, very quiet.
Get that motherfucker! Oh crap!
That's one of the most common misconceptions about silences, is that they make your bullets like silent.
Let's go.
It still makes a fucking ton of noise. G-Man is fucking indestructible.
What? I'm picking the
There's
lock.
like the
Picking.
unique between of death scenarios where there's like colors that yeah, there are. Yeah. I've seen red, like
Well, this was a
blue
disappointment.
screen. But also, there's a few different like emergency screens as well.
Just a box.
It's just a box.
Come here, pumpkin.
What's their protocol looks cool?
I am dead.
Oh, and the PC optimization's terrible. Oh no. Yeah, Callisto Protocol is something I do want to play at some point.
You suck. Darn.
That looks like a Nerf gun.
Well, this was a disappointment. I have been expecting you. Oh, shit! And I am going to kill you. No! I'm going to do it like this. God, we fight like men.
The music that they're using in this is really cool.
You were in a big fat hurry.
This one's
to
from
die, son.
Hotline Miami. Oh, it's changed again.
Oh my God! Damn it! Outstanding! You did well!
That was so chaotic. There's just non-stop like craziness going on. Also Dark Tide came out a couple days back. Dark Tide. Ah, Warhammer, right. First person action video game. Ah. Could be interesting. I'm so not up to the play of what games are coming out and when. I've not kept up somehow. Head crab troubles. Oh. Oh wait, I watched this. I watched it already, Zach. Hey, welcome, welcome. Yeah, we're doing a reaction stream. But you made it to the stream. Yeah, you just can't quite do it. He's a little confused, yeah. Yeah. He's just hitting the very edge of the door frame, so he keeps bouncing off to the side. Half-Life 2 head crabs are kind of cute. In a weird way. They're not supposed to be, but they're kind of cute. Half-Life 1 head crabs don't have that same cute factor. But Half-Life 2 head crabs have a weirdly cute quality to them. He never could figure it out. Elevator pitch for Darktide. 1,000 enemies plus a big ass sword. I see. Rorius reacts episode 69 for 20. My day was good. Well, it has been good so far, at least. I had a minor headache, but I've taken some drugs for it. Head crabs are cute, but the Half-Life Alyx ones, Well, it just when you see them in VR, suddenly they're so much more threatening. Something as little as a head crab. Oh, do you mean that? Wait, do you mean the electric head crab, the one that like possesses things? Like, fucking The PC keeps crashing to hell, and upon hundreds, I've had a few instances of yellow blue screen of death. Whoa. Specific hardware or hard disk problem? Oh, I've never heard of a yellow besod. Besod. Yeah, how's your day been, Dark Shiny Diamond Studios? Both, honestly, both. But I guess the electric one, especially, Lamau. Yeah. Yeah. Half-Life Alyx head crabs, like they don't have quite the same cuteness factor that the Half-Life 2 ones have. Just somehow, either because of the graphic style, the graphic style kind of changed, or if it's to do with the fact that you're in VR and so suddenly everything is so much more threatening. It's like, head crab jumping at you is so actually scary in VR. Alright, what's this? Scary. Fileless ransomware.
Active protection on the system, and we're increasingly seeing attacks that don't depend on exe files, which is what most people think of as an attack vector when it comes to malware. Now, one of the ways you could theoretically prevent this specific type of malware injection is by just disabling any kind of PowerShell script from executing on your system, and you can do that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As usual, one of the best ways to protect yourself from threats. So, one of the most common misconceptions when it comes to cybersecurity, and specifically threats like ransomware, is that you need to execute an exe file in order to get infected. Today we're going to look at a fileless ransomware called NetWalker, which we have on the desktop. And if we examine this, I'm just going to right-click and edit. You'll see that this is just a PowerShell script. And what's worse, it's just one command. You've got invoke expression, command, and then you've got a string, and that's it. This is not a binary file. You don't even need this file. You just need this one string of text. And it's a long string of text, as you can see. And it doesn't make any sense. And that's because all of this is encrypted. But if we go ahead and execute this one command by clicking on run, what's going to happen very quickly to our beautiful screenshots of Jurassic Park and our plays of Shakespeare in the documents folder is that they are going to get encrypted. As you can see, once we refresh the page, everything's gone. And we have a README file. If we open this, all your files are encrypted by NetWalker. Our encryption algorithms are very strong and your files are very well protected. The only way to get them back is to cooperate with us and get the decryptor program. And then the traditional ransomware stuff, so you have to download and install Tor, visit their website, put your personal code so they know what victim you are, and then negotiate some sort of ransom payment. You pay them, they give you the decryptor to get your data back. Typical cybercrime. But what's scary is that we do not need to run any executable file. We do not need to get infected by some sort of Trojan beforehand, and we don't even need administrator privileges. I know this is an administrator account, but it makes no difference whether you execute it as an admin or as a user.
Yeah, good
It's
morning
still going to be able to encrypt the data in your local folders. Anything you can access, it can too. And here's the thing. This itself is a PowerShell command. It doesn't have to be that way. I mean, this could start as part of an Office macro. It could start as a JavaScript code in your browser. Every time you're running a web app, there are scripts executing within your browser. You don't have to download and run it. Now, this particular threat is detected by 31 out of 60 vendors in Varstol, but it was first seen 2 months ago, and I can tell you when these things come out, they're not detected as much. And the reason for that is there's nothing to detect. It's just a command, just a string of characters, and it's all encrypted anyway. So there's no way an analyst can look at it unless they do the behavioral analysis to say that this is malware. Maybe you could do some sort.
That's very scary. Yeah, that's very scary. Oh, thank you, Digits, once again for sorting out that bot. Another sex bot. Sex bot, you're my sex bot. I've seen this. Sorry, I watched the second episode of this, like, in my own time. I saw I had forgotten that I watched the first episode on a reaction stream, so when the second episode came out, like, what? And there's a song by is it Tom Jones? There's a song called Sex Bomb. So I just literally replaced the bomb with bot. That's all I did. Anyway, I mean, we could watch a little bit of do we watch it? I've already seen it. Nathan was the one who posted it. He's not here at the moment, I don't think. Yeah, the Tom Jones song called Sex Bomb. What? Let's go to the interesting part. Let's just watch this part, because...
Interesting.
Wait. So the idea is that this is continuing from the previous
I know, right?
one.
I don't think the chamber looks like this. It looks weird.
It's the whole, like, entering codes to get demo files basically back constantly. And this was the one that was like, this was a new one that came through that was like the most interesting one.
Interesting. Oh.
There's like creepy shit happening in the...
What's the name? It's like show trigger toggle. What?
Doesn't even ask, how are we doing? I'm doing good.
Yeah, my
I'm doing good
portal
so far
install
today.
is kind of fricked.
Yeah, this episode, this Interloper 2 episode, really focused in on Portal 1.
So, yeah.
But yeah, that's how that episode ends. It has like it has a bunch of moments where it talked about, like, yeah, there's like, this is stuff we saw in the previous episode. It's, from what I recall from the episodes, there's an implication in the second episode that the NPCs have like somehow gained, like, NPCs have gained some kind of sentience, and they're not sentience so much as like they're like artificial AI that is confused about what's going on. And so some of the ones, like there's one that it was like what looked like a scout character, like wandering through the halls of one of the TF2 levels and like peeking around the corner at a heavy that's in the distance and like being like, oh, and it is implications from the second episode that is like an actual like entity that has gained sentience or something like that and is like living inside the fucking game and is horrified at what they're like at their existence. Anyway, yes, I heard all about this established titles scam thing. I won't watch this video because it's probably going to be quite long, but yeah, a lot of YouTubers advertised this brand, established titles, and I watch a YouTuber named The Click, and he actually did a whole video on it, basically apologizing because he had advertised it a couple of times. Apparently he had pulled out from advertising from it after those two, but he still felt the need to like apologize to his viewers about the fact that he took on that sponsorship, because he said he tried to do the research and stuff and it looked legit, but upon reading a few of his comments about people saying that it was a scammy, and then of course this video came around, he felt the need to actually fully apologize. Anyway, Half-Life 2 but ultra low resolution. Oh. Oh my god. The old I won't play it all because this music's probably gonna get me claimed. But so many YouTube videos back in the day had that 009 sound system music.
2 hours later.
What's the scam about with the established titles? Well, it's thought that they might not like that, because what their deal is supposed to be is the established titles, the way they're supposed to work is that you sign up for their thing, you pay some money, and they'll basically, it's like you've purchased a very small section of land in this forest, and and because you have land in that area of, I think it's Scotland, you are, if you are a landowner in that region, you're entitled to be referred to as a lord, because lords and ladies are as the title for a landowner in that region, traditionally speaking. So the idea is, yeah, you pay some money, you get a small piece of land, very, very small piece of land, and your money contributes to what's supposed to be, yeah, you get a title saying that you are now Lord. If I did it, for instance, it's Lord Rorius, and you have a little like document that says that you own land and that you're rightfully a lord, and the money you spend on it, a portion of that money is supposed to go to a charity for saving trees, for planting trees and helping with the ecosystem and everything. But there has been revelations that maybe they haven't actually been passing any money over to charity, that you don't actually own the land that you're buying. It's just all for show. Yeah. I never bought into it. I don't ever buy anything that's advertised on YouTube. But yeah, like it sounded like it's one of those things where it's like it was advertised as like a neat last minute gift kind of thing. If you don't know what to buy someone, like buy them a title. So you can literally, like on someone's behalf, basically sign up for this thing, and then like they, you know, give it to them as a gift. They're now a lord, and it's like this neat idea. That honestly, the idea is neat. I think it's a fun, silly, like party thing. Something that's just like a gesture of niceness. Like I think it's a nice present. That idea would be a nice present if it was real. But the fact that apparently it's just there's no, basically from my perspective, I haven't watched that video that was just posted before. I'll probably watch it later. But from what I heard from other sources, basically it's, yeah, there was questions about whether or not they actually owned any of the land that they were selling, whether you actually own anything when you buy from them, and whether they were donating any money to charity, such that a couple of the people who have talked about it, like I think Philip DeFranco had advertised it a couple times, and so when he came across the scam thing, he actually said he actually donated a bunch of money to a charity that actually does do tree related charity, you know, tree saving / planting organization. He donated a bunch of money so that at least, even if the established titles, because it's a little bit foggy, like it's not necessarily true that they're a scam, but it's pretty, the evidence seems to point to that. It's not 100% guaranteed just yet. So out of like the uncertainty, Philip DeFranco, I know, donated money to an actual charity, so that at least some charity is being made from it. Such as like Lord, I feel like it's so obsolete in the current. Yes, it's 100% a gimmick. Like that's the thing. That's why I say it's a nice gift, but it's not. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah. Also, now I think you can buy a title from Sealand. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can buy titles from all sorts of places, honestly. And some of them are legit, some of them are not. But titles they're just titles. They don't really mean anything. I know about the general idea of it, just wondered where the controversies came from. Yeah, I need to watch the video myself, honestly. But I believe the idea was someone probably looked into it, and because they said they were part of this, they were like they were donating to this specific charity organization, and there was just perhaps no evidence of such donations, and so you know, people started researching, going down the rabbit hole. Yeah. Lord Sir Rorius, thou almighty tree saver. Yeah. Do you want to be a lord or feel like one? Play a game where that is such a thing, honestly. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like, some people put so much emphasis in it, but it's just a gimmicky, fun thing. Like, it's a party. It's equivalent to a party trick, you know. It's a something you're like, did you know I'm actually a lord? Notification of being a lord. Doesn't mean anything. Just, yeah. Anyway. Oh my god. Such a low resolution. Not even freaking Half-Life 1 runs in resolution.
It is you, brother. I apologize. But no harm done. My bullets are
I was gonna say, it's not just the visual resolution, the audio also. Oh my god. I was gonna say, the audio also. It's hard to type something in the console, yeah. The audio sounds like it's been, like, downgraded as well. Ten out of 10, babe. Yeah.
It is you, brother. I apologize. But no harm done. My bullets are the least of your concerns.
The health, you can only barely see, but there's even numbers there. Half-Life 2 DOS, yeah. 40 by 30. Quit. Yeah, I was gonna say. Like, how the hell do you even use that interface? Oh my god. Jesus fucking Christ, yeah. The game actually crashed. The highest resolution ever. 4 by 3. Oh my god. This is fine. You know, this is legit. It's 4 by 3. It is legit 4 by 3. Wait, if we go back a little bit. Wait. You can count the pixels. You got 2 pixels here. This represents this, like, this affects this much space because there's interpolation between the pixels. So there's, yeah, I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pixels across and 1, 2, 3 pixels down. That's crazy. That's so wild. Yeah, the reason it looks like the way it does is because your screen is interpolating. It's upscaling. Like, what this effect is upscaling. If you were to actually see 4 by 3, it would be, you know, like this big. But because you're on a screen that's, you know, in this case it's probably like, what is it? 720. So 1280 by 720. There's interpolation going on between the pixels. Yeah, so like that's literally 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Anyway, that's really cool. Anyway, foot pole. Going without his glasses simulator. Yeah. So we're gonna cat playing soccer, is it? Also, I learned the other day that the term soccer, it actually comes from the British. The English were the first to use the term soccer to refer to, you know, football, soccer. And that's why in like America, New Zealand, Australia, like we use the term soccer. It comes from our British forefathers calling it soccer. Apparently only in recent time has the UK gone back to referring to it as football. Yeah. That is why, like, that is why it's ironic. It's very what's the word? It's very hypocritical. It's of like the English of the British. Yeah, what a talented little kitty. It's very hypocritical of the English and British, like, making fun of Americans, etc., for calling it soccer. Because that's what they came up with the term. The British came up with the term soccer. Yes. Oh, apparently. Oh, I got copyrighted audio and video. I can't show any more of the cat playing soccer. Sorry. It was still good though. I got a message saying, yeah, copyrighted audio and video. Well, yeah. Interesting random fact. We still call it football, Lamau. Yeah, football was the original term for it, and it's used all across Europe. It's football. American football is not sport. Not a sport where we live. Yes, yeah. Yeah, what interesting random fact, what we call American football in New Zealand is gridiron. We call it gridiron. At least that's what we called it at when I was at high school. And it kind of you can kind of see where the name comes from because of the system where you have like you literally lines of players who like sort of interlock once the game starts. You know, you always have a particular target in American football where you like each round it's like you're targeting this person. Basically, you just need to stop this person or like distract this person so that your other players can do a certain thing. If you're the quarterback or the I forget the names of them. The guy who runs. If you're one of those people, then you have a very specific goal. But if you're anyone else on the team, your goal is to target a particular player and like hold them in place or distract them. Oh, welcome back, RNG. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, just a random fact that I learned. Last, they were too powerful. The cat was too powerful. Its copyright was too strong for this world. That cat's going places. Yeah. Ronaldo. Soccer. Football's played with feet. American football is another thing. Yeah. That's one of those things. Like, in New Zealand and Australia, when you refer to football, or footy, as it's sometimes referred to, that it's gray. It's a little bit gray because if you call soccer football, you're going to confuse people here because footy or football, it's not usually football, it's usually footy. It refers to rugby. Because yeah, like that's just, and once again, rugby originally, the original name for rugby was rugby football because rugby was a variant of football or soccer that was developed in an area of the UK called rugby. So we call it rugby now, but it's originally called rugby football, which is why in New Zealand and Australia we call it footy. It's rugby. Did you ever play sports in school? Because I honestly didn't. Well, I did in early years, but in middle school I started to sit out sports games in PE or just completely skip the class. I played right up until I would have been like 14, around that age. Basically, once I played sport in the junior high because it was required. It was one of our required subjects, PE. As soon as PE wasn't a required subject, I stopped doing sports altogether. The sports I played a bunch of different sports in PE. I was exposed to games like lacrosse. I've tried lacrosse, it's fucking hard. I've played Australian, what they call Aussie rules, which is a version of football or rugby that is very different. It's not really, it's very much not football anymore because you actually, I believe you're not allowed to touch it with your foot. No, you are. No. How does it work again? Or can you? No, actually, I have a feeling a foot is no longer allowed in Aussie rules. Maybe it is. I don't remember. All I remember is that the way you have to pass the ball in Aussie rules is that you can't just pass it. You can't just throw the ball at someone. You have to punt it you have to hold it with one hand and punt it with the other. So the one of the ways that like that was a required rule. And so in order to like there's a way to incapacitate a player. You like if you grab the player in such a way that they can't get their hands close to each other, then they can't punt the ball, and so they can't pass it. I actually think it's a really clever sport. We played gridiron at one point. Just playing touch rugby, I frickin' injured my hand twice. I got bent fingers, and I had to have frickin' finger, like, casts around my fingers. I didn't break anything, but I bent my ligaments the wrong way. And had to have, like, little like, splint things on my fingers twice playing fucking rugby. Footy word gives me only wrong images in my head. That's fair. That's fair. You're a little crazy in French. It's football, rugby, and American It's football, rugby, and American football. Right, right. Yeah, we call American football gridiron just to give it its own name. You're a beast at basketball. I played a little bit of basketball, but yeah, I'm not good at basketball. Yeah, that's just it, RNG. Like, P was required until the last year of high school. Really? They only required it up until the point where you could choose all your subjects. So in New Zealand, the way it works is up to year 10, which, like, the years go from your very first year of school is year 1, sometimes year 0, but I won't get into that. First year of school is year 1, and your final year of school is year 13. So you have 6 years of primary school, usually 2 years of intermediate, and then 5 years? Yeah, 5 years of high school. So that's normal. That's the normal structure of school here in New Zealand, and intermediate is just a barrier section between primary school and high school. I didn't do that system. I went to a junior and senior high, so 6 years of primary, 4 years of junior high, and then 3 years of senior high. Up until the end of junior high, PE was required. PE was a required subject. So in my 3 years of senior high, I didn't have to do PE. Senior high, once you get to senior high level, that's when you're doing NCEA, which is our schooling system, our, like, proper, like exam system. It's the standard. NZQA is the system that has they provide schools with NCEA, which is it's a standard for schooling systems, testing and all that. In year 11, at 12 and 13, you can choose your subjects. So as of year 11, usually you have to do maths and English in year 11 because you need to get literacy and numeracy credits or points. You need to prove that you have enough math and English skills to be a decent citizen. You've got enough, you're proficient in maths and English, so you can be in society and not be completely lost, But after that, after getting those points, which don't necessarily even need to come from maths and English, once you got those points, you can do any subject you want. So as of year 11, usually people do maths, English, and then 3 other subjects, or 4 other subjects, depending on the school. And those 4 subjects are of their choosing. And that continues through year 12 and 13. So PE is no longer required. Because it's if you choose it, sure. Usually you'd choose, like, health or, like, a more specific subject than just PE. But yeah, if you don't want to do physical stuff anymore, you don't have to. As of year 11, I did English, maths, science, Spanish, and music was the subjects I did in year 11. But then in year 12, the sciences split from just being science to being physics, chemistry, and biology. So in year 12 and 13, I did maths, English, chemistry, biology, and physics. And did that in year 13 as well. That repeated as well. So I dropped all my special stuff, all my side stuff, and just focused on STEM. But yeah, anyway. I guess, yeah, you can put it on the Reddit. It is getting a bit late though in the stream, so I don't know if I'll make it there today. If I don't, I might just do another a mini reaction stream this week. By the end of high school, you had 23 subjects? What the fuck? How does that even work? The schooling systems in different parts of the world are very different. Here, it's... depending on the school you go to, here, depends on whether you have 5 or 6 subjects. I happened to be at a school that had 5 subjects. So, yeah, I had 5 options. In some schools, like, it is entirely to do with the structure of the days. In the school I went to, it had a 5-period rotation twice a week. So the way the school was structured for me was we had 3 periods a day. My school is weird. My school is very unusual. We had 3 periods a day, each period being 100 minutes long, or an hour and 40 minutes. So long periods, but only 3 a day. And between period 1 and 2 was morning tea. Between period 2 and 3 was lunch. So the 2 breaks, the 2 recesses were between the 3 periods. So we had 3 periods on Monday. We had what we called tutorial class, or like a form class, or whatever you want to call it, a class that was like a homeroom class. Period 1 on Tuesday. Then period 2 and 3 on Tuesday were the other 2 subjects. So you had 3, 4, 5. And then Wednesday we had our impact project system, which is a project entirely of our own choosing, which is when I made Portal Unity and I worked on mod stuff. And then Thursday you had tutorial class again, and then 2 subjects, and then on Friday 3 subjects. So it's like 3, 2, none, 2, 3. And so you had a subject twice a week for these like double periods. At the junior high I went to, it was the complete opposite. Junior high was like very standard. Most schools have 6 periods a day, with 2 before morning tea, 2 in the middle of the day, 2 at the end of the day. And so you have 6 subjects total. You have every subject like every day of the week, basically. That is the standard. That's what's normal. That's what's considered like the normal format. 6 subjects every day of the week. But mine had very different. There's pros and cons to the system that I went through. Like, one of the pros with having 3 periods a day is that since you have this huge block of time, classes that have physical stuff, like laboratories in science, doing science, the lab sessions where we're like dissecting something or testing something, like we could do an entire experiment in one class because we had so much time. But in other schools and other systems, you have to do like part of the test one day, part of it the next day, part of it another day. Yeah. Wait, what's going on? Someone's in my brain. Rorius, dancing is pretty fun too. Right. Dance was a popular subject in my school. There were a bunch of students doing dance. And I've had to do exam supervision for people doing dance, and it's very fascinating. I thought of it as a throwaway subject when I was at school, but I get it. I get it now when I look back at it. Yeah, I'm gonna be streaming more this week, so I might do a follow-up stream because we've got like 20 minutes left, and I've been ranting like crazy. I might do another reaction stream sometime this week, and catch up on that. Oh, I see what in my brain. Yeah. If you, I mentioned before, I did actually react to your you asked if you should post it on the Reddit. Go ahead and post it. I probably won't see it though until next reaction stream. But post it because I'll probably do another one this week and catch up. So if you can join this week, yeah. Yeah. Okay, wait, I'm gonna read the things. The only teamwork sport I enjoyed was playing volleyball. Volleyball is kind of fun. I actually enjoyed badminton as well. That was another weird one that I tried. Like doubles badminton. That was really fun. And then dodgeball. Just dodgeball and games like that are so fun. Why isn't dodgeball a sport? Minimum brain cell requirement. Yeah, exactly. That's what the literacy and numeracy credits or points. That's entirely what that was for, is just to make sure that you were actually like a functioning human. Can respect culturally, but zero interest in playing / watching otherwise. Right, fair, yep. Double footy, baby, be gentle. Spread them. I danced today with a girl I asked to prom. Oh, nice. Yeah, if you're good at dancing, like, go for it. Like, I know there's a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, who's amazing at dancing, and I'm so jealous. Well, not so much that I'm jealous. I'm just like, I've never put any effort in, and so I'm so impressed whenever I see people actually know how to dance. I've made no effort in my life to ever try. I've been making levels in Bridge Construct Portal. Oh, nice. Oh, braided puzzles? Yes. That one, the braid. I think I titled the episode The Braid. That was so hard. It took me so long to do it. Said something about year 13. But at school, you said. Yeah, so the year 13 is the final year of high school. So, like, again, there's like 6 years of primary school. You go primary school's year 1 through year 6. And then year 7 and 8 is usually usually intermediate, and then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 is high school. But I went through a different system. I went through a junior senior high system, so 6 years of primary, 7, 8, 9, 10 is junior high, 11, 12, 13 senior high. And I actually really like the junior senior high system. I think more schools should adopt that system. Because it's just good for separation of concerns. Because 11, 12, and 13 are when you're doing proper exams and stuff like that. Prior to that, it's all school-based systems. So having the junior high and the senior high, the juniors and seniors like separated school-wise makes more sense to me. Also, intermediates make no sense to me. Having 2-year levels in a school. How does any intermediate stay alive if they only have 2-year levels of students? I don't get it. Having 4-year levels in the junior high and 3 in the three important ones in senior high makes so much more sense to me. Anyway, enough about that. Yeah. But it isn't the actual prom, more like prom practice. Ah, right. Prom's in February. Ah. Yo, I wish you the best for your prom. If you're a good dancer, yeah, like, go for it. That's freaking awesome. Just make sure you mean, like, grade 13. No. Grades, we don't have a grade system here, Fireboy. We have years. We just call it year something. So you've got year 1 is your first year of school. Year 13 is your final year of school. So, yeah, that's how it works here. That puzzle was called the braid too. Oh, I see. So I just named it after the puzzle. Yeah, I like that they introduced that bridge building mechanic, but they took it to such an extreme for the first level with braiding. Right? Yes. Yeah. Oh, it really. I struggled. I remember struggling with Bridge Constructor Portal. I had such a rough time with that game. It's so hard. It's so shockingly hard. Don't mind me reminding about Nuclear Throne to check for yourself. Yeah, I actually have it open. I have a tab for Nuclear Throne open on the other page, on the other screen, so don't worry, I'll check it after the stream. Anyway, we should watch a few more before the end. Try and catch up a little bit. Among Us, but you can't kill me.
I like your cut, G.
I think I've actually seen that before, but that's good. I like it. Portal, funny death, and shell can be burned in Emancipation Girl. Oh? Yeah. A lot of countries use years rather than grades because it's just so much simpler. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah. I have actually seen the shell model being fried before. So I didn't know you could do it like that though. That's good. Yeah. Now there used to be a system like that, a grade system like that in New Zealand. It was called form. So once you got to like high school sort of age, year 7 used to be called Form 1. So you had Form 1 through Form 7 back in the day. Because, yeah. 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12, 13, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, like, 7th formers, or, yeah, 7th form was the final year of school back in the day. But they got rid of that because it was fucking confusing. So it's just year levels. You're year 1 when you first start school. You're year 13 when you're in your final year. And that's it. Once you get to university, you no longer even have that stuff because university is more complex than that. Anyway, massively mistranslated menus. Okay. Oh, whoops, I accidentally opened it twice.
I was mucking around on the McDonald's
this
website
guy,
in
yeah.
China, as you do, when
That's
Google
funny.
kindly offered to translate for me, which made some menu items a lot more intriguing. So big, chicken chop, energy egg, full marks for grilled ham, unsuspecting tyrant double-decker beef fort. Now, we're often being reminded in adverts where people talk like this.
I haven't had a
Today's
coffee in a while.
translation
I need a
technology
coffee.
is at its finest, bringing the whole world together. But is that right? Mixed seafood Iraq government office surface. Fried rolled up trousers with fish sauce. Our wedding venue from Portugal seems to have made a mistake. Appetizers, a regional table, leg of ham to laminate. Grilled, feces, spare ribs, blood, sautéed wild bacteria. Roasted chicken that never had sexual life. No meat. Grilled unimaginable. Well, it's pork. Blind person's paella. You and your family. Chicken rude and unreasonable. I think it's supposed to be jerk chicken. Fuck a bullfrog. French fries. Husband and wife lung slice. Steam eggs with Wikipedia. Paul is dead. A few nice ones on this menu. Glutinous rice bowl. Chicken bottom. Comprehensive indiscriminate bombing. Sausage in the father-in-law. Oh, hi, yeah, can I get a customer get angry, please? The chef cooked the fish in secret.
What are you doing?
Hey, shh, who's the dog? There's no secret in it, for fuck's sake. Meningitis
Jesus.
children is menu. French fries.
Children is menu.
Eggs to urinate. Matt, you're still thinking about the fire, aren't you? Nah, it's a nice controlled flambe. I had a drink. Everything's fine. No worries. Freshly steamed bum. Sweet ass. You're a mean one, Mr. Spinch. German type
Spinch.
sexual harassment. Motivate.
Spinch. It's such a small difference. It's so brilliant. Spinch. Yeah, paella. Yeah. Customer get angry. That's probably spicy food. Yeah. Children is menu. Oh. Spinch. There's a nice edit on YouTube with that spinch picture. I see. Oh.
Beehive grandmother. Grab me now. Cock. Drinks, you got Coke, Sprite, a bottle of water, orange, Diet Coke, Dr. Pepper, Farter orange, boot beer, or ginger. Ow! Pure speculation, mate. The sky is turning. I can't find on Google, but it's delicious. Staple food snack.
If you look up Spinch on YouTube, the problem is it comes up with, there's a game called Spinch. And that seems to be the main thing that comes up. At least that's what's come up when I've searched Spinch. Spinch is apparently a Nintendo Switch game.
crunchy radish. Fragile core barbecue chicken drumstick goes with the sauce justice of cayenne pepper. Project cheese. Annotated time. Brick. This menu finally, which is so fascinating I could probably spend a whole video on it, but here are some dishes plucked at random. Popular problem. Foul metal. Tomato meat. Hip ship. Worried. And lastly, my personal favourite, beans, gentlemen. Well, I hope you are all full after that. What is your bill? Yes or no?
Oh, there's a stream from a YouTuber. That's pretty cool. Might want to check it out. Spinch. Oh, I don't know why I find that so funny. He wants brick to eat. Yeah. Can I have brick? Anyway, wood. Ooh, your heart is filled with a spinch. Spinch. If a more aggressive, faster moving fungus comes up against a weaker one, what? Zone lines, fungal battlefield, or art.
That's a really nice spalting in this piece
This
of
guy's
wood right
cool.
here. So
This guy's got cool stuff. I watch his. He does YouTube shorts, and he often does like little woodworking projects on different things and makes different products with wood. He's a cool channel.
I'm gonna make this into a bowl and let's talk about spalting.
Spalting is any form of coloration caused by a fungal infection in wood. There are a few primary types of spalting, and today we're going to talk about zone lines. They're these black, brown, or red streaks that are essentially barricades thrown up on a fungal battlefield. You see, when wood has been infected by two or more types of fungi, sometimes one of them will start to build up physical walls in the form of zone lines that keep the others out and protects their resources. Now, the presence of more than one type of fungus doesn't guarantee you'll get zone lines in the wood. The fungi need to be evenly matched. If a more aggressive, faster-moving fungus comes up against a weaker one, it'll just overrun it and take all the resources for itself. And we've obviously got quite the battle on this piece of spalted birch. Multiple shades of zone lines, blue rot spilling over several attempted barriers. I really like this spot where some fungi were walled off on their own little islands. Plus, looks kind of like a spooky ghost. We've only just scratched the surface on a pretty interesting topic, but we're out of time. So enjoy some Easter candy. Okay, thanks, bye!
That's cool. Yeah. I didn't know that. That's news to me. I've learned. I want that video to keep going. It was too good. You mean the massively translated menus? Yeah. I think I see his shorts occasionally. I don't know. Somehow woodworking ended up on my. Yeah, that's same. It's just like I didn't like search out woodworking stuff, but somehow this guy is it just in the trees? Yeah, just in the trees. That's brilliant. His stuff just ended up in my shorts feed, and yeah, he made what the hell is it called? A spur? He made like a special tool to stir porridge, for instance. And he's made a bunch of stuff from like old mangled wood and stuff like that, and made it turned it into something really beautiful, which I think it's really neat. It would be a neat trade to learn and to get into. Made a bowl turn into real diamonds. Looks like they removed it. Can't find it. Oh, the spinch thing? Right, yeah. They removed spinch. No! Not spinch. I missed the surprise sheep shearing I got. Ah. That's like... Before I started getting into YouTube Shorts, not sheep shearing, but I got a bunch of, like, hoof treatment stuff coming into my recommended. Like, there was weird, like, it started with a horse hoof treatment thing, where the guy was, like, cutting a horse hoof and, like, fixing it up and stuff like that. And then it turned into, like, cows and a guy, and there were several people who were, like, treating, like, herd animal hooves. And they were really interesting. for a little while they were interesting. I lost interest and stopped watching them for a bit, but like yeah, like worlds that just are so foreign to me. Like I've never even thought about that stuff. But yeah, anyway, average it dipped. Time I got suspended from school.
Yep, that's right. All this time, you've been hanging out with a bad kid. So there are a few times I got in trouble for computer-related shenanigans at school, but funnily enough, I don't think it was ever because I'd done something intentionally malicious. The first time was because my friends and I were using that stick figure animation program Pivot.
Pivot?
My school
Oh
was
my
trying to crack
God.
down on games because, and this is true, the previous year I'd gotten all my friends into Project 64 and we were pretty much playing it any opportunity we could. That being said, I thought we were being pretty responsible. We only played when we had permission, and we generally stuck to family-friendly games like Mario Kart or Mario Tennis. But maybe they thought it reflected badly on them, or that we'd start playing something violent like Smash Brothers, so they eventually passed a rule against it.
She used to stand out the front going, "No!"
Project 64. When we started using Pivot, we thought we were complying with the rule because we didn't really...
My junior high had Pivot as a program just on all the computers, so you could just access Pivot at any time. Pivot was so
a
cool.
Game. I mean, we made animations in PowerPoint too, and that obviously wasn't against the rules. Sadly, the school didn't see it that way, so we got banned from the computers for about a month. The second time, I was banned for a whole semester for using Mozilla Firefox.
Pivot was a really
This
cool.
one,
Yeah, Pivot was like the first exposure I had to like frame by frame animation. Because basically it's just, yeah, you start with stick figures and you can make your own stick figures and make your own stuff, and you just literally do frame by frame animation, and you can go back and fix frames and stuff like that. And I got really into it for a while. I think I continued to use Pivot right through to I had seen the ad, I think I had seen the stuff for Portal when I was still using Pivot, because I remember I made a Portal gun in Pivot and did animations relating to Portal in Pivot. So yeah, when I was at the junior high, I must have been still, yeah, because that's when I came across Pivot. I was literally I discovered Portal and I started making animations in Pivot for Portal. Yeah. That's interesting. But I was gonna say, I have an interesting story I'll talk about after this video. Just I'll briefly bring it back up because I think I've talked about it before.
I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty
Oh,
BS.
hey, Nathan.
I mean, it's not like you got around the filters or anything fun like that. I just didn't want to
Yeah,
use
there's about
Internet
3 minutes
Explorer
left of the
6,
stream.
But they told me Firefox, quote, made the network unstable, which sounds like more of a you problem than a me problem, but
Yeah.
anyway, that got me banned.
Once again, at the junior high that I went to, they had Firefox on the computers. This is fascinating.
For a while. But the time I really got in trouble was several years later in high school. I can't think of anyone I know that has gotten suspended except me. Like, what do people get suspended for? Getting into fights? Ah, Philistine, we combat with words, not fists. I do know a girl who got expelled for putting pencil shavings in her teacher's coffee. Never saw her again, but that's pretty much all I can remember. Now, before we get into what I did, let's get this sponsor out of the way. Squarespace, it was the start of the school year in 2011, and my school was rolling out a brand new laptop program. Every student in our year would be getting one school-sanctioned laptop. It's pretty exciting when you're 14. I think we were the first or maybe second grade to ever get them, so it was all very new, it was all a big deal, and they were very much still working out the kinks. And boy did I give them some useful information. The laptops we got were these tiny 11-inch Acer things, and everyone immediately hated them. They were slow, they were small, the keyboards were cramped. It was
Yeah, school laptops sucked. One second, I'm just gonna look at this. This is... Spence. Yeah, okay, anyway.
hard to read anything on the screens. They were loaded with school bloatware. The internet was filtered even at home, so you couldn't play games or watch YouTube on them after school. I actually had a feeling going into the
I went through school. Clearly, I'm older than this guy. He went through school a little later than me. I was gonna say, well, at least it seems that way because when I was at school, they wouldn't let us take the laptops home. It hasn't been. I feel like that kind of thing doesn't. Maybe it's a cultural thing rather than an age thing. because it's only been sort of recent times, in like COVID times, that schools have been given laptops that they can actually give to the students to take home with them. Actually, no, okay, it was pre that. I think the introduction of Chromebooks started that fad here, where laptops were donated by the likes of Google to schools, and then they would give them to students to take home with them.
Program that what we'd get would be pretty underwhelming, but it really was.
Yeah, they're all
bad.
pretty terrible.
By far,
Old
the
school
worst part was the
computers are pretty
slowness. It could
terrible.
take as long as 5 minutes just to log in. Not even boot, just log in. And even after they logged in, they continued to be slow for simple tasks like web browsing or opening Microsoft Word. Something that amused us nerds was that the school had preloaded Windows XP on them, despite the fact that each one was wallpapered with "Designed for Windows 7" stickers, complete with a Windows 7 product key on the bottom, which was ostensibly going
Interesting.
unused. I get that in large businesses you want to stick with what's tried and true as much as possible, and I also get that today there's a lot of XP nostalgia, but back then it was a little disappointing to be getting the last year's OS, last decades if you want to get technical.
Yeah.
Needless to say, the excitement of getting a free laptop, for many kids their first laptop, very quickly wore off. Except for me. I had an idea. At the time I was very
Yeah.
big into clean
Chromebooks
installs
are
of
fine
Windows.
for
I'd
like
spent my whole
schoolwork
childhood
stuff,
using the family
but unfortunately there were students who wanted to join our game dev hub that we sort of had this soft requirement that students really need to have their own device in order to join. But the problem is people with Chromebooks would join, and then they would try and do stuff on the Chromebook, game development stuff. Chromebook isn't powerful enough to handle Unity. So yeah, you can like download a version of Unity that will work on a Chromebook, but most Chromebooks just can't handle that kind of stuff. Yeah. And we're talking ones that were mass produced for all the students, or for a bunch of students. They are not powerful enough to handle game development stuff. Yeah, see, back in my day, people weren't required to have their own device, but if you had your own device, you were allowed to use it at the senior high that I went to. They really encouraged people to to use their phones, use their devices for school-related stuff. At the senior high I went to, they wouldn't confiscate your phone if you were using it in class. Well, some teachers still would, but teachers were strongly encouraged not to confiscate phones, but instead try and get the students to use the phones for school-related stuff. So if you wanted to, instead of writing down everything the teachers were, if the teacher's writing stuff on the board, the teachers were encouraged to allow the students to take a photo of the board with their phone, so that they can like refer back to it on in their notes. Our school is very forward when it came to that kind of technological use, and so like in my final years, in my year 12, I used a laptop for a lot of my subjects because I had a laptop, my own personal laptop. These days, laptops are kind of required by a lot of schools and subjects, which is unfortunate for people who can't afford those kind of things, you know? They sell Chromebooks for stupid cheap, but they have like 4 gigs of RAM. Yes, yeah. Terrible. Yeah. I would honestly say I would just recommend getting a regular laptop. I think for the price. Maybe it's a little cheaper to get a Chromebook. But honestly, to get a decent Chromebook, you may as well then just get a proper laptop. Though before hosting live chat friendly online games, like word guessing or other party games of this kind. Oh yeah, I mean, if you're new to the channel, you must be new to the channel. Wait, actually, how do you say your name? Cattertlin? Cat. I'm gonna call you Cat. Before, like, if you're not familiar with the channel, Cat, we do that all. We used to do that all the time. I've played. We've played many a stream of Jackbox. Played many like Scribble.io, or Garlic Phone is the current one that we do a lot. So yeah, we did like words on stream and stuff like that. Yep. We do that. We actually do that fairly frequently. I just haven't done it recently, because I've not been able to stream recently. I've only been able to make videos, so I haven't had a chance to do it. But yeah, yep, we do that. So yeah, if you stick around, we should be doing one pretty soon actually, because it might be like next weekend, but like I might do a multiplayer stream pretty soon. When I was in school, most of the staff, including teachers, were very regressive. So we were discouraged from using devices like phones. Yeah, most schools, back when I was at school, most schools had those policies like, if they see a phone in your hand, it immediately gets confiscated by the teacher. And to get it back, if it's your first offense, you have to wait till the end of that class to get it back. And if it was like your third offense or something like that, your parents had to come in and grab your phone. And like, I've had that, like, my brother got his phone confiscated like that once at the school he went to, and they had like a zero tolerance. Mom and dad had to like go in and get the phone from there at one point, and my parents were not happy about it. They were like, because my mom's a teacher and she doesn't do that kind of thing. She doesn't like that kind of thing. So having to do that for her son, she was like very mad about it. Basically, from her perspective, it's like, waste my fucking time, waste my time going into the school for fucking policy that's stupid. So yeah, my mom had strong opinions on that. She wouldn't swear like I just did, but you know, that's her. I emphasized it a little bit because she was very upset. No, I haven't streamed Jackbox 9 yet. I don't think. Or did we? I actually can't remember. One time we were doing a PE group project, and I saw most of my team members use their laptops, while the rest used school laptops. Right, yep. That's how it sort of used to be at like the junior high for me. Or most people would use the school laptops. We had these like little banks of school laptops that would be wheeled into a room so that everyone could use the laptops inside. And it's mostly because of some people who used internet as an advantage to search for answers. Ah, I see. Yeah, I will say during exams and stuff, it's still like a relatively zero tolerance policy. If you have a phone on you in the exam room, it has to be in like an emergency pack under your desk. Otherwise, if you have a phone on you, especially if it's on, like makes noise, it will immediately be confiscated and returned to you at the end of the exam. And usually a report is written to say like the student had a phone on them in the exam room, and they might get a fail grade for the exam if it can be proven that they used it to cheat. Anyway.
Computer, which was always filled with crap that I couldn't do anything about, so when I finally got a computer of my own, I was obsessed with keeping it clean. Any time that I sensed my computer getting a little bit slow or a little bit messy, I'd just reinstall Windows, just blow it all away and start over. And I'd gotten it down to a science. I had all the software installers I need neatly organized into folders, as well as any settings I might need to restore. I was at a point where I would completely reinstall Windows and be up and running within the hour. So when it came to these laptops, I had a theory. If I was able to install a clean copy of Windows 7 on there, surely I could get something that at least logged in a reasonable amount of time. Within days of getting my school laptop, I was already looking at my options for booting off external media. And I was in luck. While they obviously locked the BIOS, what they didn't lock was the F12 temporary boot menu, which, if you didn't know, allows you to choose a different device to boot from just for this one session. And even better, they hadn't locked out booting from USB. So pretty soon I was booting off a USB DVD drive into the Windows 7 installer. Yes, back when disks was still the main way of installing OSs. Once I'd booted into the installer, I discovered something very interesting.
Never stayed on
These
any
laptops came with 320 gig hard drives,
single
but
message.
only the first
Right, well,
160 gig was part.
Well, let me formally welcome you, Kat, to the Rorius channel. It's, yeah, whether you've been here for a while and just like been lurking and hanging out, or if you're literally like this is your first one, whatever the case, welcome. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you joining. Oh, hey, Isuzuki. How you doing? Welcome back. It has been a little while. But yeah, we're just wrapping up the stream. I'm gonna just finish this video. I'm gonna rant about something, and then we're gonna call it. But I'm gonna do another stream. I'm gonna do another reaction stream this week because I ranted a lot in this in this stream. So there's a bunch more videos to watch on the Rorius Reddit. Yeah. Yeah, I talked a lot today. So we'll have another reaction stream very soon. But let's finish this video first.
Partitioned. Presumably, whatever image they used to set these up with was partitioned that way too. I'm not really sure why. If I had to guess, maybe the image was built on an earlier version of the laptop with a smaller hard drive, or maybe it was just faster to image that way. But for whatever reason, effectively a whole half the disk was going unused, and, well, wouldn't it be a shame if someone installed Windows there? I knew that what I was about to do could get me in trouble. I knew that while there was no explicit don't dual boot Windows rule, that if they found out, they'd find some reason to bring the hammer down. I stepped back, assessed the situation carefully, and smash that motherfucking next button. Okay, yeah, installing Windows is a very quiet form of rebellion. In fact, the whole process was very uneventful. The install went off without a hitch, almost as if these laptops were designed for Windows 7 or something. But despite the uneventfulness, it was actually really exciting to think of what the laptops could be like unencumbered by the school's bloatware. And it was unbelievable what a difference that made. No more staring at login screens for minutes at a time. No more hard drive thrashing away just trying to open a simple
I
web
really
browser.
liked Windows
On a clean
7.
install of Windows 7, I was at the desktop in just under a minute.
Windows 7
and
was
using
really
Chrome
nice.
in just a few seconds. My hunch was right. These laptops weren't as bad as the school's bloatware was making us think. And as the administrator of this install, I could do anything that I wanted.
It was just nice
play
and clean
games,
and
watch YouTube, listen
functional.
to music on iTunes.
It was so
this thing's
good.
potential had officially been unlocked. Not only that, the Windows installer automatically sets up a boot menu if it detects a pre-existing install, so at school I could boot back into their XP partition so everything looked legit, and as long as I kept it on the download, no one would ever figure out what I'd done. But that's not what you do in high school. What you do is immediately brag to your friends the next day that you've done something really cool. Bonus points if it's against the rules. And immediately, they wanted it too. And I was more than happy to oblige. I started taking my friends' laptops home with me, sometimes several at a time, installing Windows 7 and the necessary drivers while watching 20-somethings play video games on YouTube, and the next day I'd hand it back to them with a shiny new install ready for them to use. And while this was probably against the school's rules, technically, from a legal sense, we were being pretty
Can't wait for
responsible.
Windows 9.
Remember, every single laptop had its own Windows 7 product
was never
key
to
on the
be.
bottom, so every single install could be legitimately activated. Soon,
Actually,
all of my
USBs for
friends were
with
rebooting
stolen
Windows 7
movies?
with
Oh,
XP.
damn.
It was hard to pass up the opportunity to make the laptops objectively better, especially since the original partition gave us the perfect cover. As long as we stuck to using their install at school, no one would find out that we'd done anything wrong. But none of us were going to do that. We wanted faster laptops at school. We wanted to be able to surreptitiously play Minecraft in the back of the classroom. For a while, we were actually forced to use the XP partitions at school, simply because we didn't have access to the school Wi-Fi on our Windows 7 partitions. But all of that changed when one of my friends, and I still don't exactly know how, managed to import the Wi-Fi profile from the XP partition into Windows 7. And because he was an administrator on 7, he could just click show password and suddenly we all knew what the school Wi-Fi password was. This was actually its own little revolution. Suddenly people could use the school Wi-Fi on their phones or on laptops they brought in from home. It was filtered, obviously, but still generally preferable to cellular data or
Windows
no internet at
64.
all. I was asked for the school Wi-Fi password so often that eventually I memorized it, and despite the fact it was a random string of numbers and letters,
I'm glad to
I
hear
can
that.
still remember
I'm
it
glad to
to
hear
this
that.
day. While games were
I
obviously
try.
the motivation for a lot of people wanting to
although
install Windows 7 on their
honestly,
laptops,
it's just
for me,
that's just
it
me.
was kind of like a war mission, freeing everyone
I've
from the
always been
shackles
called
of
the
slow
smiley.
computing and harsh restrictions. It was amazing how much people were actually able to do
smiley
once
kid.
they had a usable OS. One of my friends installed Adobe After Effects, bought a USB capture card, and started making COD montages on this tiny little laptop. Even I tried pushing the boundaries by installing then modern games like Portal 2 and Modern Warfare 2. And while it was obviously no gaming powerhouse, at 640 by 480 I could get some surprisingly playable speeds. The movement had become such a mainstay of our conversations that we knew we needed a way to refer to it without arousing suspicion. Windows 8 wasn't a thing yet, so we started to call it 8-1. Yo, can you get me 8-1? Sure thing, dude. I got you. It was like we were dealing drugs, but with fewer side effects. And for me, it was surprisingly fun to be kind of at the center of it all. As more and more people got a hold of it, I started getting people way outside my friendship group asking for it too. Popular kids, girls that never would have spoken to me before were asking me to pretty please make their laptops faster, and how could I say no? Looking back, it was inevitable that word would spread to the adults, and there were some particularly sloppy moments that didn't help. More than once, a teacher looked over our shoulders and noticed something a little odd about some of these laptops. More than once, a teacher offered to install a printer or something and found that all of the school's software was mysteriously missing. And more than 0 times, a particularly foolish friend brought their laptop into the school's IT department and asked them for help while booted into Windows 7. I don't exactly know when they found out or which incident tipped them off first, but there weren't exactly a lack of ways it could have happened. At the end of the school year, I was randomly pulled out of class, called into the library, and the lady there said, I kid you not, "What do you know about 8 minus 1? And I was never a very good liar. I knew the jig was up. Someone had snitched on me, so I just told them the truth. To be honest, the adults were all pretty understanding about it. I was in trouble, obviously, but no one really yelled at me or even really told me off. I think they all sensed that I didn't mean any real malice. I was just a nerdy kid doing nerdy shit. The one adult that was mad, though, as far as I know, was the school principal.
Oh,
she
the
never
principal.
spoke to me directly, but word came down that she was fucking furious. Apparently she was deathly afraid that this whole situation would put the school's contract with Microsoft in jeopardy. I don't know how. I mean, obviously I don't know the particulars of their contract, but all the installs were legit, and I highly doubt Microsoft would cut off an entire school just because a couple kids dual booted their laptops. But it didn't matter what I thought. Judgment was swift and vengeful. My pastoral care advisor took me aside one day and said,
Yeah, I think we get the point. Yeah, that's funny. That's really funny because I have a similar story from my senior high. I don't think the difference was, I don't think management or like the upper people ever figured out that it was me. Something that was funny is when at the senior high that I went to, the principal did have a point. There's a Windows education version that is distributed. Right, yes. It probably would have violated some contract. Well, not the act of doing it wouldn't have violated the contract, but if the school didn't do anything to maintain the system, they probably would have been violating contract. So if they didn't do anything about the students all having special versions of Windows, you know, non-school versions of Windows, they might have been in violation of their contract. So they might have caused some problems. But anyway, I went to a senior high where the senior high opted to save money by not having a contract with Windows, not having Windows computers, but instead having entirely Linux, open source based systems. So whereas the junior high I went to had all Windows, everything, Windows XP, everything, this, that, and the next thing. The senior high I went to, we switched all over to Ubuntu, or Linux, a Linux distribution called Ubuntu. And on those Linux computers there was a bunch of software that was all open source. Like that's why to this day I use GIMP as my visual image editing software, because I got used to using it at high school. It had like a bunch of open source software, but in my first year, in year 11, in the first year at the senior high that I went to, everyone's computers had a lot of modification options. A lot of the functions of Ubuntu hadn't been switched off. So a lot of people were doing stuff on the systems, and things were slowly getting shut down and turned off over the year, sorry, because they were slowing down the systems. Something that the computers had that seemed innocuous but turned out to be problematic was they all had Wine on them. There's a Linux software called Wine, which is basically Windows emulator. It's basically a virtual machine that runs Windows exes. At least that's from my perspective. That's the way it functions. That's at least in essence, that's the way it functions. So the they had this program called Wine, which meant that you could bring Windows exe file onto your Ubuntu and run it as if you're on a Windows computer. And they used Wine mainly for, there was a couple of pieces of software that were Windows software that they used, that they wanted people to have access to. One of them wasn't for the students, though, it was for the teachers. Teachers needed access to this one piece of software that was a Windows only software, so they had to have Wine on the school computers, at least at the time. However, upon me discovering Wine and how it works, I was like, oh, that means I could, potentially I could play certain things on the school computers. I could play certain games on the school computers. Something that I did in year 11 is, like, I saw Wine and I saw how it functioned, and I decided I had recently been getting into emulation. I had recently learned about EPSXE, which is a PlayStation 1 emulator. And so one day, just out of the blue, one day I randomly decided to put EPSXE onto a USB drive and put a bunch of ROMs on there. So I had things like Spyro 1 and Spyro 1, 2, and 3, and I had like Crash Bandicoot games, and I had a bunch of ROMs on this USB drive. It turned into I think this USB drive was about a gig in size, because I had about 400 to 600 megabytes or something like that of program and ROMs. Yeah, I love PlayStation emulator. I love going back and playing those old games. It's so good. Spyro is so good. The Spyro remake, if you can get your hands on it, the reignited Spyro, so good. So faithful to the originals. Yeah. Anyway, so I brought this USB in and I plugged it in and I transferred all the exe and all the ROMs that I had on that USB onto my account, because we all had accounts in the system. We all had our own folder structure built into the system. I copied all those files over and I tried Wine, and it was flawless. Wine worked perfectly with EPSXE. So I was busy on my school computer playing like Spyro at school, and people were fascinated by that. My friend got in trouble for having a Linux distro downloaded. What? Never mind the fact he was actively messing with... Oh, okay. He didn't care about the hacking tools, just the fact that he had Linux. That's absurd. No, kindergarten doesn't count towards the years. Year 1 is your first year at primary school or elementary school, if you want to use the American terms. Looks like something that could break the computer. Yeah. Playing around a marquee selection on the... Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah. What the hell? But yeah, so I was busy playing away at my PlayStation emulator, having a blast, and friends of mine were like, oh my god, I want that. Nostalgia and all that. I want to play those old games. Can you give it to me? So essentially, a bunch of my friends were like, I want to play PS1 games as well. So I gave them the USB, and they copied their copy of PlayStation emulator and all the ROMs onto their account. And let's just say I handed this USB out to maybe 5 or 6 of my friends. And I saw them playing it, and we were all having a little great old time. Our little cluster of friends all playing PlayStation 1 games on the school computers. Well, as it turned out, like, maybe a week or 2 later, I remember I was just walking down one of the common rooms, and I saw someone who I'd never interacted with. I don't even remember who it was now. Someone who I'd never spoken to was on their school computer playing PlayStation emulator. And I was like, huh. I didn't give them that USB drive. What happened there? As it happened, it's like much like a virus. You hand something out, you hand out something fun, something interesting to 5 of your friends. They play it in front of their friends, people that you might not be friends with necessarily, and they hand it out to their friends, don't they? And then they hand it out to their friends. And apparently what happened, like, let's just say, like, a week later, or like the end, it was near the end of term, I think. The start of the next term, after the holiday break, there was an announcement made that wine was no longer available on the school computers. They disabled wine on all the school computers for all the students, so suddenly couldn't play it anymore. So I ended up just like deleting it off my computer. I was like, all right, and like killjoys. I was like, those assholes, killjoys. I deleted it off my computer. I learned later on that I learned from one of my IT friends, my computer science friends, that who actually worked at the school while he was going to the school. He worked in the IT department while he was still at the school. I heard from him that it's like, oh, we lost wine at school because, and he said, because someone spread a program that like someone spread an emulator, and so many people copied it onto their systems that literally the file structure was getting overloaded. There was basically every student having a copy of the PlayStation emulator with the all the ROMs and stuff in it was overloading the hard drive space for the school, and they were running rapidly out of space for their hard drive, for their storage system, so they had to shut it down to stop the system getting completely full. Because with every student downloading that same system, when he mentioned that, I was like, oh my god, was the emulator a PlayStation 1 emulator? And he was like, yes. And I was like, that might have been me. He thought it was so funny that it was that I was the one who fucking ruined it for everyone. Do you know the way I get games nowadays? I can still get games, but it's so unreliable and feels so much like I'm using people. Oh, the sharing system? Oh, third-party site make sure the Steam code is available in my region and then ask for him to buy the game. Right, yes. I see. Yeah, that really sucks. That's like the only way it works. In school we had restrictions on our browser for sites to visit, obviously, but one of my friends, Great and Easy Bypass, a simple Chrome extension, allowed you to visit any site. Oh my god. And then a week later, I'd reckon at least 25% of the people in our cafeteria time had the browsing extension due to it being shared. Yeah. Good things spread like viruses. Good thing about that is games are cheaper from those sources. Yes. Yeah, that is the problem, is that you have to get other people to get it for you. And you can't always trust the websites that have them cheap. But so far I've been very lucky with those sites most of the time. And then the ISOs are huge. Yeah, that's the thing, is like once you get I think I must have had it in a compressed form on the USB. So when people transferred it to their system and then unpacked it all, there was quite a bit of space being used by the ROMs, by the ISOs. So yeah, apparently I nearly fucking brought the computer. I nearly accidentally brought the fucking whole school computer system to its knees by bringing in PlayStation 1 emulator. Yeah. And I ruined it for everyone. I made it so that wine became unavailable because I guess they just thought while wine is there, people will keep wanting to use exes from Windows. People are going to keep wanting to bring their own stuff from home. So that's the thing. I didn't mean for that to happen. It was totally unintentional. I just was like, I just saw an opportunity, and I took advantage of that opportunity entirely for my own benefit, only for my own fun. That's spread out of control. Yeah. This could still happen again because most emulators have a Linux port. Yes, actually, that's just it. If I had known, I mean, maybe it didn't back then, but if I had known there was a Linux support version, I would have used that too. Because we were never told why wine was taken away from us. Wine was just taken away from us. Like, we were just told it was taken away. It was gone. We never were told that it was because people were doing this, that, or the next thing. It's just like, oh, wine is no longer available on the school computers. And so we were like, damn. You brought in Game Boy Advance emulators? Yes. Yes, those are significantly smaller. PS1 emulators, PlayStation 1 emulator, the thing is like I can test it right now. Oh, actually, I don't have the folders here. Damn it. Okay, wait. If I open this, go to here. Let's have a look at the average file size. See, like, I must be mistaken. Maybe it was a few gigs of emulator when I copied it over, because like one example of PlayStation 1 game, 700 megs. Another one, 362, 407, 600 and something, 400, 200, 300, 600. Like, each game is at least, let's say it's between a third and a half of a gig in average size. You get a handful of those, and you're using suddenly several gigs of space. If every student in the school suddenly is using that on a shared network, suddenly you've got a lot of space being used by what is essentially just a small little emulator with some small games. I must have, the emulator thing that I brought must have had a few gigs worth of stuff in it. Because yeah, apparently it brought the system to its knees. I will say, it was a small system at first. The system would probably be able to handle it a lot better now, but they don't even really use that system anymore because there are no school computers at the senior high I went to anymore. There are no just like computers you can just sit at like they used to be. Everyone has their own device now, or they get given a Chromebook by the school, which just has, you know, Chromebook stuff on it. So the landscape of that kind of stuff has changed so much since I was at school. The person I really ask for games from, honestly, is just my right, yeah, your BF, because at least it's a person I trust, and he is willing to spend whenever possible. Yeah, that's just it. It still feels bad to ask, but at least, yeah, someone you trust and someone who cares about you and is willing. Yeah, that's nice. How'd you feel that when you made a huge... Well, that's the thing, is I didn't know I'd done it until years later. I was at university and I was talking to my friend who, as I mentioned, he's worked in the IT department while he was still at school. And I was doing comp sci, or computer science, at university with him. And he mentioned the story, and I was suddenly like, wait a minute. You mean a PlayStation emulator? And I cracked up, and I told him, I just straight up told him that I was the one who brought that into the school, and he thought that was hilarious. So yeah, it wasn't until way later that I realized that was the case. Until you sideload Linux into the onto the Chromebook. Yes. Yeah. Like, I want to get this DLC for the Long Dark that's coming out in 2 or 3 days from now. It's $20, but I want it so bad, so I don't know who to ask. Honestly, right, yeah. I mean, if you can ask your boyfriend to get it for you, that'd be perfect. But otherwise, just want to play my favorite games, new DLC. Yeah. I don't know if that'll happen. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, enough ranting. It's one of my favorite stories because I don't really have a whole lot of stories like those. I was pretty like goody two shoes at school and never really got into trouble. As I mentioned before to Kat, I was known by the teachers as being like the boy with who always has like a good smile. I always come into the room smiling, or I always have a Rory's always smiling. Rory's always the relatively quiet but also like decent student. Very respectful and good attitude and stuff like that. So I don't really have a lot of stories that are like hilarious like that. Yeah. The story was pretty funny, I'll admit. Yeah, that's probably one of my it's one of my favorite stories. I think to this day, it's one of my favorite stories. There's a few others. There's a few other stories that I have that I really like, but I'll tell them in another time if I can remember them. My problem is just remembering that I have stories to tell. Because like a lot of YouTubers, they like do videos where they tell stories about stuff that happened to them in the past. But I'm like, when I see them doing that, I'm like, what stories could I tell? It's not until something reminds me that I have a story to tell. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. We'll do another reaction stream. Yeah, I actually got pretty close to the start of the stream stuff. Because I think this was the top one when I first loaded up Reddit this morning, so I was only a few away, but I know a bunch more will have been posted by now. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah, so there's a few more. We might do like a mini reaction stream sometime in the middle of the week, and I'll react to oh, he hasn't posted it. I'll react to RNG's music at that time, because I've held off listening to the Aperture Salt Mines OST. I was gonna react to it on a stream, but I just didn't get to it today. So we'll do that next time. Yeah. I just really realized I missed my submissions by the time I came to the stream. Yes. Yeah, you did. So that's why I thought it was funny that you said you're like right on time. Because I'd already seen all your submissions. But you can go back and watch them. Yeah. I always leave these streams on, so up on YouTube, so yeah. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, this was fun. I enjoyed the stream a lot. It was fun to talk to you guys about stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have you gotten malware before? I have. I have had viruses and malware before, but usually nothing really serious. Can't wait until you hear my OST. Yes, yeah. But I think subsequent soundtracks is very talented. Yeah, that one you showed us the other day is very cool. So I look forward to hearing more. Because they seem to be a very talented musician. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I shall go eat. Have a good rest of your night, everyone, or rest of your day if it's daytime. If you haven't already eaten, if you're hungry, I wish you the best of foods, best of eats. Yeah. Thanks for the stream. Have a good day. Yeah, everyone, have a good night. Have a good day. And I'll see you all next time. I'll be streams more soon. More streams soon. Soon, more stream. Stream soon. Yes, more. Eat is bad for you. No, eat is good. Eat is yummy. Alright, bye. Bye.